choppy one for the overall market. Individual movers where you had to be all day long, continuing to be that way as far as the afternoon is shaping up here. Still, ton of negativity to have a look at here as far as tech is concerned, specifically coming off obviously some earnings last night from Netflix and Tesla. We'll get into those a little bit deeper here coming up. But yeah, 8+ right now downside for Tesla. Obviously been on a huge run, so in need of a slight pullback. There it is. I was looking for Netflix, also 8+ at this point downside. Amazon, full 3% plus at this point as well. But it's been about big tech all day long, kind of offsetting what's positive in the middle here. And those are banks specifically and healthcare stocks specifically. A ton of strength in J&J. I'll show you why here in a second. Really nice breakout today for Johnson & Johnson. Huge move to the upside. Eli Lilly, Mark AbbVie, all green on the day as well. Positivity down here as well. We haven't talked about oil stocks in a while, but nice move back higher for crude today. Very, very mixed board, though, across the entire thing at this point this afternoon. Yeah, it was more about strength from the Dow kind of offsetting everything else today as far as tech goes. But Johnson & Johnson beating expectations with earnings. They also increased their sales forecast for the entire year, 2023, full year 2023 earnings going to be top end of the range according to J&J. So took out that high from early on this year and hasn't looked back all day. 68+ right now for J&J. Netflix was top of the list this morning that we were discussing if you're with us in the pre-market along with Tesla, Fabian. Yes, I'll get to it, don't worry. NFLX. I'll be okay. There we go, though. Downside in a big way coming off their report. Subscribers topping expectations. Numbers themselves, not great. Revenue miss, but huge, huge move down here, guys, for both Tesla and Netflix today.
Yes, sir. Welcome. We got a couple of bears on the table, obviously. The market is on those lows, but hey, the shorts came in. There's no question about it. Oddly enough, I'm not muted. Okay, good. Just double checking. I didn't have a trade in Netflix today, and we kind of said that might be the case. It doesn't surprise me. Netflix isn't always the most tradable name. I was looking for an SSR bounce, but I was just sort of thinking out loud. A big stock like this, sometimes it's a good bounce is not going to get to the short sell restricted. So Netflix fell $2 shy of going 10% to the downside. And Tesla, I actually was long Tesla on this double bottom. It felt pretty good. So I got out of it. Maybe the mistake was adding to the position. So wick bottom, 264.20, higher low, 264.40. When it did that, I took the long back through 265. I then added, this is probably the mistake, I then added through 256, thinking it's going to make the run to the upside. I started to project, I'm like, oh no, I should start getting something out. I took like 80 cents on the first leg and then break even on the last. And Tesla, it went to 67, but now it's coming all the way back in here. It might not matter that the margins wasn't that bad of a number. The revenue was still pretty strong. It's just possibly come a little bit too far, too fast. And at some point, it was always going to come back in. It's just been one of those types of days. 65 was the big level, at least pulling up the daily chart. If it so happens to continue to flush, it's worth mentioning SSR on this stock is $262, and I think I said 83 cents. So it's, yeah, if it goes another $2 to the downside, $2.50 to the downside, you do go short sell restricted. I think it bounces if it hits that level because you can't short aggressively off the bid.
Yeah, Tesla's been a funny one. Welcome back here again today. You can see we've been really, since we last left you, it's been a cash, that's not the cash cow, that just looks like the cash cow. It's been a cash cow kind of day for the shorts, obviously, as we are sitting $3 in the money on Coinbase and $1.50 in the money on Apple. Lots of good opportunities there to short those names. And we're talking about Tesla now. There's been some great opportunities to short Tesla as well. I mean, the easiest one I feel like is just this 270 break. I mean, it was kind of resisting it for a minute there. And once we did break it the first couple of times, we went down about 50 cents. But then it came right back into 270 again. And that sort of could have been another break. Hold it 50 cents. If it doesn't go, you punch out. Otherwise, it's a nice downside move right there. We tried it in the morning pretty early, trying to bounce off. I thought Tesla was a long today. We talked about that. And I'm glad to be wrong and get the heck out of Dodge because we didn't lose anything. Well, we lost something, but not enough. As you can clearly see here, nice downside move. This is called trading right here. You don't hold something against you until it breaks your back. That's part of the reason why, we don't try not to get shut down. We talked about that. I don't want to lose more than 20 to 25% of my shutdown on any one given trade. So right here, we just go back and forth, make about 50 cents or $1 early, make a little bit there, make a little bit there, then lose on the whole, not the whole thing, but a reloaded position as it drops back down. But Tesla, very disappointing today, obviously, but I just feel like this is going to be right back up. So I said today, I think a buying opportunity down here near this 240, something like that. We've been raising cash throughout this whole move up. So I feel like Tesla is going to be an opportunity to buy it at some point. They're still delivering all the cars you could imagine. They still got to release that truck. I think that's going to be a big one. I really like Tesla here. It's just, I still feel like there's more ways to go because the market can give this up. We still have Apple to come, Microsoft, Amazon. So many names are such lofty valuations that we keep talking about every day that, it would not surprise me if we give some up. That's why today, man, Apple short, AMD short, Coinbase short, Micron short, Tesla long, WFC short. Like everything has been a short except for the Tesla long today that I tried. And of course, it's almost down, like Neil said, that SSR 10% level. A name that I think might have hit SSR already is Netflix.
No, it missed.
No, it just missed it. Okay. Let's go back over to Brendan and we'll review some of those numbers.
Yeah, I just saw another one, actually, CVNA pop up there in front of me on a volume scanner as well, but Carvana down more than 10% at one point. Tesla's decline, benefiting some of the other EV names. I was keeping my eye out for anything on this move for Rivian back to the top end of its range. Decent volume spike up to 2580. Kind of an interesting note here. This was from Business Insider, but they were telling the story of a gentleman, didn't actually say where he was from, but he waited 3 years for a Rivian that was bricked in 3 days. Apparently, it was reading through this note, it was talking about a safety mode that if it gets stuck in snow or something like that, you have to put on the safety mode and then it allows the truck to be towed out of snow. But it got stuck in between drive and reverse and was rendered completely useless. So good story for Rivian at day highs. Anyways, yeah, Netflix. We were talking a little bit there, guys. 5.9 million net paid sub ads in the quarter. That was really the positive note for Netflix. Trying to bounce here, though, off that support.
Okay, so before we get to that, I am in guard force when it broke that $7 just now. So if you're watching the midday show, you know it was at 7. I did short the 7 level. It got down to 650. I greedily tried to hold on to some for VWAP and stopped it out. I reversed into the long when 7 broke, but I did not get great fills. I got a partial at like 8, and then I took some at like 19s. Ended up with a 15 price here. So I'm looking to get some in front of 740. If it breaks 750 and then 775, I'll take some out going into $8. At this point, I don't want it back under 7. It's kind of hung out here long enough that it should just go, and if it gets underneath 7 again, I don't want to have to deal with it. Mentioned Netflix. I don't know if I see an obvious trade here because I wanted the SSR bounce. That's now gone. A short to me almost needs to be above 440 and into for like 442, 43, so another $5, and then you consider a short. Or maybe just underneath VWAP, and then you can short it to like 339. So maybe it breaks down at 437, and you get like a power hour type of short trade in there for Netflix. But the SSR bounce, if it gets down there to SSR again, it's already made a $6 bounce off the bottom. You're not looking for that again because I feel like it already happened, and it did it shy of the SSR. So I'd be thinking a short somewhere, but it has to be a pop higher, at least $3 higher, or fail underneath VWAP and then go for it. But guard force for now feels like the more exciting mover. I mean, Tesla obviously still has some moves to go, but yeah, I'm not sure we trade Netflix today. Might not happen.
Yeah, I mean, just rewind the tape. Yesterday, I said there's probably no chance of me trading Netflix today. But again, it's been pretty smooth to the downside there until eventually got to 432, which for some reason decided to stop. It also decided to stop at 432 right there. So yeah, I could see, you know, I could see something if we can get back down there to sort of buy this name again. You're just testing VWAP if there was ever a shot to do that. It's funny because yesterday we were short Netflix at 480. And we lost on that 480 short. Now, of course, Netflix is down to 437, so we'll have to see what's going on right now. You got a haircut? Come on, man, this guy's...
Is that where you were?
Of course, that's where he was.
You gonna talk Tesla earnings for us today?
It was as expected. I mean,
No, just grab a mic, bro. Grab a mic.
Just go to the
grab
desk
a
at
mic.
2:45.
Brendan wants to tell you a story about Rivian. You can comment on that as well. Their drivetrain got stuck and they had to... Yeah, they had to pull a truck out of a snow pile or something. I don't know.
It's a weird story to talk about a stock at the high of the day, though, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe. So anyways, yeah, Netflix right now today. I mean, I like the stock. I've been talking about it. You know, we didn't get anything out at the very top there. I've been long this name. First buy was a year ago at that low. It's up 300% since its low of 170 up to 437. Netflix continues to work. You know, writers strike, actors strike, and Netflix down 8%. Okay, you know. It's been a monster. It's just, you know, Netflix, for everybody that's like, oh my God, look where Netflix is. Yeah, it's back to where it was on Monday. So, you know, obviously we're going to have to break a little bit lower than that for us to get concerned. I would say you look out, I talked about this 420 area. I think that could be a good buying spot, which we could hit tomorrow. So let's just wait to see what happens on a Friday. But I like Netflix here. I think at some point it is a buy. Just so the valuation, we said this, would eventually catch up to it, right? So, you know, that's exactly what's happened. You can go back. This is going to go down to 170. So as you can see, it's all the way up. Just got caught in a valuation trap. Broke that 450, so it's downside after that. Pretty simple trade there for Netflix. I'm not super interested in it today. But again, I like to trade off earnings names unless we get a clear direction. And I feel like today, Netflix was just too tough to trade.
Autonomous comes on board. Randy and I were just talking about Tesla. Elon actually saw a quote. He said, once autonomous comes on board and the software is fully functioning, that will make these numbers look silly, was the word he actually said. So more to come from Tesla. Here's UAL and AAL, meanwhile, both making moves opposite direction initially. We get UAL back to the top end of the range. American Airlines, I mean, both reports were decent right across the board. There was guidance to the upside as well for either. It's been quite the year so far, guys, for the airline industry.
So we were just sort of talking about it. It's a software thing for the margins with Tesla if they get full self-driving, right? Like, it's just insane because you're just licensing that out and software updates. It's just cheaper for that to work, and you make a lot of money.
I'm buying the name. I just gotta wait.
Yeah. So just a couple of things. I did get one leg out on GFAI. I got my offer in front of $7.50 and then $8, but it's slowing down a little bit here. If it makes a run at $7.50, I probably move the stop up. I did eventually trade UAL, but it wasn't where it should have been. Like, it broke that 57, and if I had longed it here, it's not like it would have gone any better. It then broke underneath. The second time it took 57 was worth it. And if you're watching the midday show, you know I had come back from I had literally come back from the bathroom to see that offer that was sitting there for 300,000 shares. Max and both Max and Pratt are like, hey, look at that offer that's there. It's a high of the day. It's a good break. It's a good level on the daily. It's probably worth a punch. Now, I had just seen it. I'm not going to sit there and just automatically punch into something, but to be honest, if you had, it was like clean 25-cent move. I tried the long coming back into that same level, so we just bought the consolidation, didn't really scalp it out for 10 cents, and then kind of stopped it out for 10 cents, but didn't scalp it for 10 cents. I was looking for a continuation move. There's always a chance you can hold these lows at 56.5 on UAL and break back out 57. I'd rather be long the stock simply where it is on the daily chart, attempting a big breakout through this 57 level. So until it's underneath 56, I probably am thinking the long has so much room to continue this strong move that it's had. That was one I was watching, only one trade on it. If it gets back to the upside, maybe there's a look in the afternoon for another long, but the market just continues to make lows. So that makes it tricky for this UAL.
We never got into AAL, but it's not, I mean, really for good reasons. We were looking for an 18 hold, but that didn't, this is what we wrote on the sticky note, either 18 hold, which didn't even come into play because by the time the market opened up, we were already below 18 right here. That's 18. So that didn't hold. And then, you know, again, hindsight being 2020, that just wish I would have been trading it at this time because there's the 18 again. So when we write down levels that we think are going to be support that don't turn into be support, then they just automatically flip over to be resistance. So that, you know, that 18 there, good look. Anybody hit that, but that was the level there. Should have been short there. Wasn't, that's that. Or you could have hit it through 18. But if I'm thinking it's going to be support, then I'm probably not crashing this party. If anything, I probably would have been long, so it's kind of a good thing that it broke right away. We didn't get to see it. And then down almost not basically, it did go down in 2 minutes, about 70 cents straight to the downside before retracing almost that full move all the way back up. And then now you're just kind of cruising. So I'd say you know, we talked about this. I've only traded today 6 or 7 names, 5 or 6 names, and you know, had some pretty good success here. So I'm going to stick with this and just be patient with AAL. I don't really know where there's going to be a bottom. It's down 6%. I don't really want to go long anything today, so I'm just going to wait for a bump up here in American Airlines. If there's some reason the market wants to rally and we can get back to 18, then we'll just short it. I mean, this is just that. You know, we talked about the FU candle to the upside. This is just another one to the downside now. And it's just trying to get back into this 16 area where we'll really see if there's any support. So this is where American Airlines is probably headed. Let's see if it has a better day behind it. Now down 6%. American Airlines, if you're going to invest in anything, I would say why buy? Unless you just know about the airlines, then that's great. But you know, I wouldn't know which one to invest in. So I still think the Jets ETF, which we talked about down here at 16 or 17 when it was down here, probably owning the top 5 airlines. If you want that, it's the top 5 holdings in this name. So the Jets ETF still remaining pretty high up. I think travel is going to be still a thing to talk about for a while. So I think you're probably fine in all this, but that's what you get for, you know, taking a shot on earnings plays. It's just down 5%, up 5%. It's kind of par for the course here. So nothing outside of the ranges for AAL. We're not going to talk about Coinbase here as it looks like, but we are absolutely like, this is the number one stock here today traded P&L wise. And it's just because of the move down. I mean, it's just, this is Coinbase right here. We're now in the money, $3.50, as it just continues to make a move down. We've got pieces out here at 106 off of 107. Then we got some 105.50s. That's a 105.25. That's a 104.50. And right now we're at day's low as Bitcoin is at 29.7. And there's the trade, you know, for me of the day. Easy, so easy to make this trade. You hit it off, VWAP goes down, it comes back, you hit it again. And as they say, shout out to my Uncle Bob, because Bob's your uncle on a trade like this. Just comes in, flattens it out, boom, there it is right there. That's $4. Well, it's not $4, it's only $3. But that's also a Dollar Club member with, and I didn't see his, yeah, we're not even going to talk about Apple, but Apple took my money early, but, you know, we took it late. Right now, short here, short again, all the way to the downside. Now another one, $1.50 in the money right now with Apple. So a couple good trades on here. We're just gonna have to let them settle down and see where we go. But I wanna hold these for a lower move, man. The SPY, we talked about where that is. Look at the market, now down 2%. The SPY, we called that, well, we didn't call it, but we talked about this 452. So there it is. Shout out to my guy Dylan from the chat earlier. There goes the SPYs, now hitting day's low as we're short and the market's collapsing again, boys.
Just keeping an eye on Amazon doing the same thing right now. Very weak today, like relative weakness across the board here. 3.3% for AMZN, just made a new low on the day as well. A few people are mentioning. Taiwan Semi, TSM comes out with earnings that miss estimates. For the first time in I think it was 6 quarters, they missed estimate. Taiwan Semi, obviously a big Apple supplier. So some question marks being raised around some of the semiconductors. Here's TSM trying to hold these levels, guys. We got to go all the way back to March, though.
Yeah, it ends up giving it up a little bit. If it got to 100, I think it would have been a little bit better. But I try to short off 98. I'll get to that in a second. But I traded Intel. It's missing some pre-market data. Every now and then this happens in the afternoon. But I had several shorts up here. Took an 8-cent hit. Got back in at a 94. Took another 8-cent hit. Then it wicked the top at 34. So when 34 wicked in, I jumped right back in the trade, got some underfills at 98, got an overfill at 34.04, had an average price at 34 even to give to the high. That worked all the way to the low of the day. So that's how I got green on Intel. And then I went for the long above. It broke out. I said, this, if the market goes, this is a stock that has a chance to break. That's an ugly looking, there you go. So this is what it looks like in the 15. I'm like, yeah, it's a chance to break out. So I reversed into the long for the move into yesterday's levels. That doesn't work out. It ended up being a pretty decent short if I jump back into the same levels. At that point, I was in a bunch of other things to the south side, so I can't really hate on it. But it is what it is. If you stick with it, sometimes it'll end up working. But it was a relatively strong name. I would maintain that if the market had made a bounce, this was a pretty explosive potential break move to the upside, just given what it was doing for most of the day. But this one will get me on Intel. I should have stuck with the shorts and not reversed into the long. I was pretty disciplined on the morning trade, and if I had stayed with that, it would have been absolutely fine. NVIDIA, you can pick your own poison. I actually did not even trade NVIDIA today because that's not where my focus was. And we actually still have 450 in play. So there's a lot of room. If the market continues to go, NVIDIA's got a lot of room. Underneath 460, this just feels like it just feels like a short to me. I don't know how GFAI is doing nothing. I don't know. I can't think of a time where I've seen a stock. By the way, I've not gone over the higher time frame chart in GFAI. The reason 7 is so juicy is this is the last time it was here. It had a nice little 7 break. I was thinking you should be clear sailing to 859 almost on the first move. Well, it's not breaking 7, and it's not shooting to the upside. It's a big level that it just took out. It needs to go soon. If we fail 750, I'm for sure trailing this at a higher price because there hasn't really been, since the morning, there's been some big explosive moves, and these last little ones have been 30, 40 cent shots on a stock that I think should be doing dollars. And if you think it should be going faster than it is and it's not, sometimes that means it's running out of steam a little bit, and you should look elsewhere.
Yeah, what's up, G-Man? Asking about AMD. Yeah, look, if you're following at Trader TV, Sean, you'll see on the watch my watch list today that we had AMD, and that was the short. We talked about that earlier. This is Coinbase, which, by the way, right now is $4.50 in the money and continuing to go. We have $2 in the money on Apple right now. But let's go over to AMD quickly and just talk about this. This is the number 2 stock here. Nice move to the downside as... unfortunately, I have this tick right there, which, I mean, you know what? As this was coming down, we probably would have got them all out here anyways at 112.70, but we did get stopped out a little bit there at 113 as we tried it during the midday there. And then the market just absolutely collapsed. Obviously, I'm short Apple and short Coinbase, but we should probably be short AMD. And it all started here early. And we actually went over this. We went over this exact play. We went over this yesterday. Remember when I was talking about, you know, there it was right there at 119. If you miss that initial move, it comes back and gives it to you, comes back and gives it to you again, comes back and gives it to you. So today we actually did exactly what we thought we wanted to do, and that was let it drop down, which is exactly what happened. Went down about from 115 all the way down to 113, rallied back up, and then there it is right now, down to the downside.
Brendan,
what people want to ask about Siri right now?
Siri's halted to the upside, up 20%.
That's funny because I was using that as a test stock earlier to get back
it never moves.
Forth on Siri right there. Did it actually move though?
Yes.
No, it didn't. Oh, yeah. There's me getting in and out. So what you have to do is we have to get in and out of a stock to show our positions. Oh, there it is. There's the move up. Okay, well, he'll get that in a minute, but I saw someone put Siri in the chat, and I thought it's because they saw me get in and out right there. Damn it, I went long first, too.
Can you imagine if you just left it?
Nah, it was like 100 shares. It was nothing, but still.
I know.
Nice move back up to the upside there for Sirius Satellite Radio. Oh, yeah, Siri, just in. They have a deal with Trader TV Live. We're now going to be broadcasted live on Sirius Satellite Radio. Check your listings, your local listings, but that is, of course, not true. I don't think we would be a very good radio-only show.
No, you need to see the charts. You need to look. It's very visual because we're actually trading. That's the reality. It's just a limit halt. So volatility trading pause. It's not halted for news or anything like that. Just go to NASDAQ Trader, current trade halts, 5.8. So that's weird. It's halted up at 667, but the current theoretical auction price is like $6.
Did somebody fat finger that? How
Oh,
many
boy.
shares was this? No, they didn't because
'cause it's
not.
steady.
It's
It's
a
too
very,
steady
very
to the
steady
upside.
climb.
A fat finger would be like one candle up. That's how we know. We've seen fat fingers before. Just a couple of things. GFAI did break 750, so I was able to get the fill right at 750. So this one is running the upside. We'll ring the register. I want to get $8 as
check,
well. But I mean, I got a Sirius Satellite.
Oh, that's
does not
why.
hold.
Why didn't we know?
What?
No, because we don't talk about it enough. But the short float is 30%. Like,
Sirius has a
that's-
30% short float?
Yeah, I feel like that really got going. I don't think that that's normal. I feel like somebody there, either somebody's been caught with like a short, because I don't remember it being that high before.
Never.
I wonder if there's a website that can sort of show the growth or whatever in short float percentages, because I don't remember it being that high. It's like, why would somebody, well, I mean, you're looking at the daily chart. I mean, forget about today. Even if you take away and just say like, okay, let's just pretend it was sleeping here around $6. That's still all the way up there. So you almost get a double. Like now you have a double from basically June lows. So that's quite an impressive move there for Sirius Satellite Radio. I had no idea that it was under like that. So
30%, wow.
yeah, I don't know. Nice move up for sure there for Sirius Satellite Radio. So we'll throw it back to Brendo and hope. Oh, we did talk about AMD. Yeah, so we're done with that. We'll throw it back to Brendan, and then if he has anything on Sirius, then we'll get more serious on it.
Keep my eye out. Nothing yet. Looks like it has a bit of a ramp to it, though, so it might just be a climax at the top there. FTC, meanwhile, to pause the Microsoft ATVI merger trial, allowing for settlement talks to take place. So ATVI moving around here on that news. Again, the FTC to pause the Microsoft ATVI merger trial, allowing for settlement talks to resume. So a bit of a mess here on the ATVI chart on that, if anyone's watching ATVI. Randy is with me. We were just discussing a few things of note here from this, the call specifically last night when it comes to Tesla. But you have an interesting image there, which has popped up online. Yeah, this is the new battery factory in Berlin.
Oh, hang on, I'm on Prod's mic. Sorry, guys.
There you go. Randy is muted. Come on, Randy.
There we go. Is that better?
Randy's a pro at this.
Sorry. Yeah, this came back on Reddit. Came out on Reddit probably more than 2 weeks ago. Leaked publicly a couple of days ago. This is Berlin expansion 2.0. So they're already in talks with the city of Berlin, with the government, the local communities there, to already expand the capacity of the plant that's less than 2 years old. Because they need the capacity. They need the 4680 cells. The Highland project's coming. It's not yet available in Berlin.
Yeah.
This is on top of what they want to build in Mexico. Austin is expanding. Like it just the octopus is getting
For anyone
bigger
keeping
here.
score, this is now number 3, I believe, when it comes to factory building for Tesla.
Right, and when they originally bought the land or the property for this plant, they left a lot of extras for just this purpose. So interesting to note that they're expanding this quickly. Sales are up, profits, okay. Was it a big surprise? No, this is what happens when you discount and incentivize sales to compete with the likes of Rivian and BYD and all the rest of them. But the numbers are there.
What do you think? I was going to ask you, what do you think about the margins were the biggest question mark? Because we go from, I think it was 25 to 18 gross margins. And then he said at the end of the call, there's more cuts coming.
More cuts coming, and you've got to remember that prices have gone up for supply chain, material costs have gone up overall, not just for them, but for everyone. I think they can manage it. I think they need the price cuts in some markets, not all, where you have competition, where the likes of Volkswagen or BYD, especially in Asia, where they're discounting cars, a lot of cars, at the expense of internal profits. Tesla's in a better footing. I think they're in a better position to be able to weather this. At the same time, their expansion plans are just off the charts. There's still a lot of stuff in the pipeline. The Highland project is the big one. Elon spoke about the truck last night. Okay, we've got release candidates. He said we'll have some production by the end of the year. This is 5 years out now.
Yeah, it was kind of vague.
So there's other interesting little notes in there. We talked about the solar profits. So the solar side of it is big, and it's going to get bigger. I mentioned there's 3 incumbent reasons why it's going to grow. Number one is they're actually moving some of the 4680 cell structure to their storage. Number two is they're trying to get a hold of U.S. incentives in some U.S. states. So there's government participation in people putting solar panels on the roofs of their houses and on the roofs of their businesses, schools, wherever else you want to put them. Government money is a good thing.
Yeah.
So if they can do that and bring their production rates up, that's going to help grow that sector, that 934 million US in profit. That's not bad.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, we have the service side of it. Now the services are servicing cars that they've already sold that are mostly out of warranty, that don't cost them, they make money on them. You got to admit now there's millions of these cars on the road, and some of them are 6, 7, 8 years old, the original Model S's.
Yep.
They now need service or more service because they're high mileage. So they're making a lot of money on service. There's more service centers opening up, more technicians being hired, but it's a profitable sector. That's adding to their cash pile. So as they reduce their costs on cars, as they incentivize and reduce their overall MSRP, they're making money elsewhere. And again, there's more stuff in the pipeline. The semis numbers weren't talked about in great depth yesterday.
Yeah.
That's coming. Cybertruck numbers are coming. Highlands cost them a lot more than I think they thought it would. That's going to come too. These plant expansions aren't cheap. You know, we're talking billions.
Yeah.
But if the numbers keep going on the trajectory that they are, they need this kind of investment.
Give me your thoughts here on, I mean, there's been a number of analysts this week and going back to last week as well talking about saturation in the overall market. I mean, we see the numbers on a quarterly basis. We see the delivery numbers on a monthly basis. And Tesla's still miles and miles and miles beyond anyone else. But how long can that last?
That's a good question. It's a moving target. When you incentivize or you discount MSRP, you now have a broader target audience. You now have people who maybe previously couldn't afford a Model 3 or a Model Y, even the base model. Don't forget the Model 2 is somewhere in the works. They're trying to be an everything car company to everybody. Right now, there's a portion of the market that just can't afford to buy a Tesla, or they don't have the charging infrastructure, or you live in the middle of nowhere and there's nowhere, you know, there's no incentive for you to buy it. However, that being said, we've got a lot of penetration that hasn't happened in South America, in parts of Asia. We're talking Vietnam and Thailand and that portion of the world. Sales in Australia off the charts. They haven't sold that many, 5,500 I think last month alone, but they're like this.
And they announced India as well.
India's coming on board.
$24,000 or the equivalent of a $24,000
Right.
version of the Model 3 going to be sold in India.
This is huge. And on top of that, you add all the companies in the last month and a half that have joined the NACS charging standard. This is Ford and Nissan and Jaguar and the rest of them. You're adding value by joining the standard to Ford. If I'm Ford, your own platform, your own vehicles, the Lightning, for example, now you can charge anywhere. Tesla has the biggest charging network in North America. Is that
By
Europe?
far, not even
By
close.
far, not even
Yeah.
close.
Yeah.
There's no comparison. Is that Europe? No. There's a lot more companies, many more companies in Europe. But if they can add that value to their own platform and their own standard, all of a sudden that, again, you're allowing people to go, look, I can buy any brand, but I should buy a Tesla because they created the standard. The cars are cheaper. There's many, many more service and charging stations out there. So the creep is just creeping.
So when Randy first came up here and sat down beside me, I said, he said, "What's up?" And I said, "Not Tesla." And he said, "Good, because it's giving you a buying opportunity." How many days do we wait here, Mr. Randy, for a possibility on Tesla?
You know what? Let the investor community shake out for a week and crunch the numbers. But I think, you know, by the end of the summer, when we're going to get more production numbers out of China, out of Austin, out of Berlin, we're finally going to get an update on the truck, production update. We're finally going to get an update on Mexico. And then we have 4680 cell production coming on phase 2 in Austin, which is big. There's enough in the pipeline to keep the bull investors happy. Just hang on a little bit. I think it's there. It's coming.
Elon needs to break some windows or something again, just to spice things up a little bit. Keeping my eye out, guys, for anything on Siri. It's still nothing popping up in front of me, but volume dying off here a little bit on ATVI. Again, if you missed it, somebody was asking again. The FTC halting the merger trial between Microsoft and ATVI for settlement discussions to continue. You guys looking at something over there? Yeah, rundown brought to you by Trade Ideas, real-time scanning and alerting used on the desk by everyone you see on the show. See what's moving in the moment Check out the QR code, bottom right corner of the screen, guys. Take advantage of this if you haven't. Great deal, 20% off. Trader TV 20. Shout out to our friends over at Trade Ideas.
All right, up
so
30% only.
So Sirius Satellite, I don't think I've seen this type of a situation on a halt where it, come to the chart quickly, guys, it halted at 667. That's a bit of an interesting number. It opened up at 635, halted up again at the exact same double top. Like, when do you ever see that? Halts at the exact same high, opens up underneath again, higher lows on the open, and then it just takes out the top. How do you not look at that breakout? It gets a breakout of a double top that's also a halt high. You grab the long, it had a couple of fake halts on the way upside, broke 7. There was another fake halt. And when I say a fake halt, it hit a halt band, stacked a bid, looked like it was going to stall out at that level, and then kind of went back underneath before it could get to 15 seconds. The tap is 7 even, but the tap's been lower every single time. So the way I want to look at it here is just trailing stop, I think, at this point. I'll probably trail underneath 7. I took half out on the way up to this halt to the upside. I didn't even realize Sirius Satellite was a 33% short or 30% short flow, and I still don't even know what the story is here, if there is a story.
There might not be a story.
Maybe there isn't a story, and this is some kind of, but this doesn't feel like, I don't know, it feels like there's a story, but I guess maybe there isn't one. So I'll trail this one out. if it gets
well,
back
what makes you think there's a story?
It was like ho-humming along, and then all of a sudden volume went ham at 6, broke out, then halted to the upside 10% up. Usually you think there's a catalyst, but 30% short float, I suppose, should be enough. I had no clue, because I don't really track this stock, that this was on a run. This is from 360, like just not even like 1 month ago, actually. So this is more or less a double up. Ooh, it's a double up in a month? Oh, there's going to be some profit takers here. Yeah, it's just a short squeeze. There could be some profit takers at 720 the more that I think about it. So I do not want this to go back underneath break even at this point. Oh, also GFAI, just a quick note on GFAI. It trailed me out here. See that little wick here at 8? Once it broke $8, I moved my trailing stop up from 740 up to 780, and then it wicked me out. So we'll ring the register on GFAI, but suddenly Siri is the hot game in town.
Okay, so, well, whatever. I mean, I just got in Siri now. I was too busy trying to find out outs for Coinbase and whatnot, which I found one finally 103. We'll have to get out of this, take the $4, see what happens here with Coinbase. As it just hit 105, 101.50. We're going to try to watch out for that, and I will go over Siri in a minute as well. You can just see the prices. That's the halt. It was up 705. I got it. I thought it was going to halt. It didn't. I got out of 20% for only 10 cents where it just currently halted. Now we're going to see where it goes, but Apple on the way back upside as well. We're just holding small pieces of this, but still want to make sure that we're trading it properly. I'm going to use the 50 period, so about 193.70 or so as an out there for Apple. So I'll change my out from 194.60, so all the way to where we are right now. So let's just do that live. 193.66. We'll put an offer out or a bid out there to get out if that goes in, and then here we go, man. Trade what's moving, I guess. And here we go, Siri. I just wasn't, we saw, we're like, what the, and like Neil just went over it, what happened. So I wasn't watching it. We're just in it pretty small here for that dream and see if it can continue to make a move to the upside. We still don't have any news on it from what I can see, so we'll have to just watch to see. But this is the tap right there. Hopefully we've got draft on tap tonight. I saw someone put that in the chat. That's pretty fun. But now right now, $7 looking to be a level there for where we may open at. And then if we do open up there, like Neil said, maybe we'll look to see if there is going to be a possible trail, or maybe it halts to the downside. And if that's happening, then we know we can get out. Because if this is a no news story and then just a squeeze, well, people are going to have to there. Now it's 695, so we are going lower, 690 right now, 691. So this looks like it's going to open up very, very soon. And again, like this is a 15-cent hit or something. This is not even worth looking at. But once it does open up, we got to keep our eyes on that just in case it does make those moves, and we don't want to be stuck with shares. So we'll watch out for that, but that's what that is. Let's just see if there's any sort of sympathy here with any of these other plays as we'll go over to Carvana, 47. This was down 10% at one point. I've been noticing, and I don't know if, we're not editing or anything over there, but like, things seem to be slow, like order entries right now. So I don't know if it's just on these stocks that are really starting to ramp up a little bit now.
My browser's impossibly slow. But.
Your browser? Okay, so are we doing any work over there, team, on any of the computers or anything, Fabian? No? Okay.
Siri's back open.
Oh.
It's going for the high again. You know what? It seems like it's running out of steam.
Out. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to get a piece out as well.
I got some out at 12.
Give me some. I still want to break even for the rest of it, though. I'm just going to stick with maybe not all the way to break even.
Yeah, you know
I feel like if it takes out 680, like it's probably going to get me out. You know, it's going to take out here. It probably breaks that price because it's not as thick as you'd want on the level 2. So I got a couple of legs out there. I'll hold on to a quarter to see if he can get through the high.
Nope.
But yeah, if it gets through that local reopen bottom, which is now 680, I'm out of it. So make sure we don't go red on the stock and leave a little bit. There's a huge, like there's offers in there. People are selling on this thing legit. Like usually Siri, like Sean was making
this thing is going to fly,
It's insane. This is a stock that if you're, you just want to show a level 2 that doesn't move, we used to always pull up Siri.
I was going to say, like, you come in every single day.
Wow.
And you never have any idea what you're going to see. I have never in 22 years seen Sirius Satellite Radio move around like this.
There was
even when Howard Stern, no, because this is uncontrolled.
I know, yeah, but
at least in Howard Stern's moving.
The Howard Stern was pretty nuts, but you're right.
But
it was more.
Yeah, I mean that's when Siri was like the thing. Now it's like all of a sudden this stock is just going absolutely ridiculous, and we'll hold a piece. You could see we got out when it opened back up immediately for that, still that same 10 cents. That high is 733. So it's going to halt again? Like, I don't know. Did we have news for Brendan there? Did I miss that? What's up, Brendan?
I just want to mention, guys, the free float on this is monstrous. 633 million, I see. Free float. There's 3.8 billion shares outstanding on Siri.
Oh, it just made another jump.
That's kind of the point.
It just made another jump to 740. I took some out of 740. There's so much liquidity. Like, how far can it really go when there's so much liquidity? Like, oh my goodness.
I did the same thing. It's going to halt. Nope. It might
halt again. You got to see the level 2 here.
No, it can't halt. No, it can't halt now. You need 70 cents.
Yeah, like now it feels pretty good.
680?
I think you almost look at like a trail to 7 even. Let's see it halt again. Go to the upside. Congratulations if you got it. But it never halts. See, like it'll go into the halt band. This is it, 747. It either halts or it goes lower. It's that simple. So if you have a trailing stop on it, I think that's the way to go. I might even move it. I'm just going to keep moving it higher. I'm going to go to the quarter mark on the trail. If it halts up, this should be fantastic. But you can see there's so much sell liquidity.
This is crazy.
Because it's the float's so big. So I move my trail so that if it takes out this high, I'm already out if it gets back down underneath. What a move on Sirius Satellite. I almost feel like I want a running list of all the stocks that just have 25% short float so that I know what they are and can have them on a watch list somewhere. Because
that's what we did yesterday. Remember, I was like, what is the next one? And people said Upstart. Yeah. There's a firm.
Nobody said Siri.
That's exactly the thing. Nobody knew about Siri, I feel like. But there it is, man. Let's go. I mean, we're already 10%. I mean, we're all in the money right now. So let's go and see if we can do this. A little bit of a dance. And this is the thing. This is why you have to hit immediately the like button. You know when CNBC is going to talk about this? Checks watch. Never. I mean, this is what we're doing right now. Is giving you guys trades, not just giving you trades, but talking about them, trying to break it to you, trying to give you live. Not trying. Here it's going to halt maybe. Live level 2 screens right here, watching the stock as it halts. Yeah, it is. It can't go down, I don't think. It can't go up. I mean, it is going to halt right now if they can't break that 755. So let's watch out like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I just made that up. I have no idea. 5, 4. Anyways, it should halt now. Seconds. I don't know. There it is. Okay, there it goes right there. So there's the 15-second countdown. And there it is. So there's Sirius Satellite Radio again. Maybe clip that if you want a piece for social media right there. I mean, this is exactly what we're talking about, why we're the best, I feel like, and why you need to hit the like and subscribe. And on that note, I'm just going to go make sure that we have over 1,000 likes right now. 425? 4,000 people watching, so there you go right now. Hopefully you're rocking with the best here. Let's get that up a little bit. If you haven't hit the like button, please do so. I mean, we've got $5 in the money on Coinbase, $2.50 in the money on Apple, now 10+% in the money on Sirius Satellite Radio right now. So let's just go, man. Let's get those likes up there. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy the show because I know me and this guy right here, we're having a good time today.
That was sick.
That was sick. I mean, that's why we're here.
It turns a day that was like, it's like, okay, it was good because the shorts eventually worked out to maybe there's not going to be anything that's crazy exciting outside of like, you know, a hole under your shorts if you still got them. And then it's just this. And this is what you look for as a day trader. You want to see something going ham. It's actually, for the first time, it's indicating a higher open. Every other time this is halted, it's indicated and then open lower slightly. So halt, open down, halt, open down, halt, open down. Now it's indicating 770. So a halt at 55, and this is starting to get a little bit out of hand. I am in Mullen. I have a break-even stop on Mullen. I should have gone over this because we always talk about the positions that we're in, but I did short Mullen off the high of the day, and I don't usually do this. I added to the position on a 15 break, which I feel was a little bit sloppy. I got my cover, what would have been almost a full penny move. But now I just want to break even on my addition. So the half that I got, actually 40% that I got in at 15 was a bit sloppy at VWAP. So I'll give it to dead flat. And if we get down to 14 even, that's fantastic. Maybe I take some at 14 half. Probably not going to talk about it unless something crazy happens. This is going to be the Sirius show. GFAI still making some moves here and worth watching. Oh, the NASDAQ. Oh, there's this thing. It's called the market. It trades every once in a while, and it's trying to bounce. So on my 60-minute chart, you're not really seeing anything. It's all straight down. However, since we hit the 2% mark downside, there was a big volume spike. We hit 2% down, and we're catching a little bit of a bounce overall in the NASDAQ. I don't think Sirius is not going to care what happens in the market, but there is a bit of a bid being caught here, so you want to watch out for that just in case.
All right, just messaging here back and forth. All right, I just want to see where this thing opens up. 750 right now. Let's just talk a little bit about other trades. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about quickly right now? Because this should open up in about 5 minutes. Okay, the high. Yeah, we can go back. Let's look at Siri because it hasn't reverse split or anything like that. This is just another one of those names that with a high short float. We've sort of been going over on this. I want to thank everybody for hitting that like button. That does mean a lot, man. Now we just doubled our likes up to 800. So thank you so much for doing that. And again, if you could do it more, that would also be great. So that's what we're doing right now, trying to watch out for some of these names and just see where we're going. But so far, so good. There's Siri. If we can zoom back even more, what are some highs maybe that we should be looking at now? Well, we're way above that. There's that sort of that level where it first halted around 680, I believe. Now let's go back. I don't know how far we should go. We always say zoom out, but I think at this point it doesn't matter. Whenever you're looking at these stocks, it's like, what are you going to zoom out on Carvana? Carvana was a $300 stock, so you're going to eventually find some levels. I'm not going to do this anymore. This is going all the way back to 2020. We haven't seen these levels, so yeah, it's a nice move, obviously for Siri. We'll see what's happening, and it's just doing its own thing. So if you're in it, great, congratulations. If you're not, I feel like you've probably missed the boat. Just saying that because I don't feel like it's responsible. It's just like I said, I don't feel like yesterday. Buying these names, Netflix, Tesla, into earnings, probably not great. That's why I'm really glad that Randy said exactly what I said, and that is that we're going to wait, and I think we all have the same opinions, wait for pullbacks in some of these tech names. So I think Siri, you're probably a little bit late to the party. Let's just show you why Neil and I both think until we get further information. This is a 30% short float right here. So yeah, 30 billion market cap seems really high. Actually, that's going up today right now if that's not real time. But yeah, nice move to the upside. Huge volume expansion today, 243 times. Is that times or 243% right now? Anyways, nice move to the upside. We're just going to have to wait to see what happens here with Sirius Satellite Radio.
Should be open in a few seconds here.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to kind of delay here to see what we're going to do. But here we go, man. Coinbase still moving. There it is. So 740.
My stop's still at the quarters.
Oh, you're gonna stop at the quarters?
Didn't. Well, I think I have 20. There it is. I just got trailed out of it. I had my stop. I was like, do I move it? Do I not move it? Maybe it's going to continue going. I just feel there's so much liquidity in Siri that it doesn't feel like it's not GameStop, man.
No.
There's just so much liquidity in the stock. I can't see it going
Wait a
up
minute,
forever.
it's not GameStop?
No, it's not GameStop.
damn
So
it.
I'm out. I'll take the money and run. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm not really feeling like I want to short a level or anything like that. That was a pretty clean move. I've been trading a long time. I have literally never seen this setup on a halt stock. Halt, same high, halt again, open up. Like you have successive halts all at the exact same top. That sets out the most obvious breakout you're ever going to see. So that's why you want to have it. Just not to change the subject, but Rivian is at 26. Open shorting 25, we can forget about that because Rivian is now at $26. And if you're wondering what 26 looks like on a daily chart of Rivian, wonder no further. This is what 26 looks like on the daily chart. That is nasty consolidation, rejection of the high. I had a couple of I had a little short in here, a little short in there, a little short in there, but none of them were like the open. This feels like a legit break. I might short 99s because that's kind of a thing to do on Rivian at a level like this. Is 250,000 shares on the offer, but this smells like a breakout. Wow, what a reversal for Rivian
Look
on
at
a day where
Siri.
Tesla's getting destroyed. I don't understand that. It's crazy.
Guys, Siri's gonna, it almost halted up there at 765. Again, I'm still in this. Let's just let it go. I don't, we're already out. We only have 20% left of this name. So I'm just gonna let this go and see if that's gonna be the right call or not. I mean, I don't really have too much reason to dump it. I mean, obviously if it breaks 50, that might be something there. But there's not going to be news, so it doesn't really matter. It's not like I'm saying we're waiting for news on this thing. We already know the news. It's 30% short. Until we get something else, there's no buyout rumors here or anything like that as far as we know. So hold for the entertainment. Okay, Reliable Rudy, you got that. We'll hold for this too, and some entertainment. So that's fine. That's what we'll do, and let's just see where Siri goes. Hey, look, man, I'm here. Oh, the one thing I did want to talk about here also, isn't 8 the all-time high ever? Is that true? Okay, time to do work. Whenever Daryl Flinch says something in the chat, I'm going to
That's what I see.
double check that immediately.
My weekly chart
It's going to halt at 770, so you can forget about 8 today. Oh, there it goes. Oh, no. Yeah, it keeps on false halting.
I have the weekly chart here.
Yeah.
This is the weekly.
No, this is the monthly. No. Back in 2000, you're up to $70.
Yeah.
But that doesn't really matter.
I mean, you have to go pretty far back.
Yeah, I would say
it's a level. Leave it at it's a level.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it is or not. But back in here in 2006, yeah, that was it. Like $8 to $10 all the way back there, maybe. But again, remember, this was Howard Stern. Sirius was a very new product there. But yeah, this goes all the way back to when many people on our chat, maybe not born, 2000, right there. But this is the start of my trading career, 2002. This is what I mean. This is why I was talking about Sirius Satellite Radio and never seeing anything like this. But there it is. Look at this. This is look what I'm talking about. This is exactly right. Since I started, Neil, even you, no candle really like today, ever. You had one from here that went from, but squeezing wasn't the thing then. At least we didn't really know about it. I don't know if there was enough data.
There was a brute program on that one time.
There it is. So that was 7. Yeah, that was almost the same move happening as we speak right now on Sirius. So thanks for that shout out there, Daryl. But you are right. Goes back decades, literally, until we've seen those levels. But we just had a couple false halts up there near that 760 mark. So I think that is going to be the out up there near 760.
Oh wow! That's a Palantir type move on Rivian. Rivian broke. I was short 98, and then I went from short 98, and the slippage was to 05. Now, the last time this happened on a reversal, I think I said this to Max during lunchtime, that if I saw this happen to me again, that I would stop out instead of 26. I'd stop out at that 5 level, and if it goes under, look for the long reload underneath 26, because that's the way I think Palantir played out. So I'm going to stick to that. I'll go for the 04, because liquidity showed up at 05. Usually you get 1s and 2s on a $26 stock. So if it showed up at 05, I'll get out if it can't hold 05, and I'll look for loads somewhere else in. I was able to get some 10s and able to get some 12s, but that is nasty on that kind of a reversal. Siri's still doing its thing. If it halts down, maybe you look for a consolidation bottom or something like that. Because I don't think it's not going to be over right away. Like this is A squeeze play is going to usually give you more than that, but I want to see it give me some kind of a dip buy. Maybe it has to hold down or something. But Rivian, hold on to 5. That's where liquidity seems to be jumping in here. It's ticked down to 5 now 3 times, and they bid it back up to 10. So I think that's the right level. If it gets underneath 5, get out, look for a re-entry point. Otherwise, we're holding for the quarter mark here on RIV. And unreal. It's just, I can't remember the last time I saw something flush $1, like flush 4% at the open, only to end up 5% when its cohort Tesla is getting absolutely destroyed. So I'll give the long up for a 1 cent hit, because the last time I saw this, that was the right thing to do, and look for the long 10, 15 cents lower, somewhere around 25.90.
Okay. We're doing all that there. Yeah, I mean, taking out 26. Yeah, okay. I was just looking, I was seeing if Lucid was doing anything. There was one point I wanted to talk about real quickly, and I forget. Oh, no, where is it? Where is it? Thank you so much, right here. Daryl Finch is never wrong. Yeah, he's not wrong. Thank you, Reliable Rudy, for that. No, it was up here. Hopefully Entertainment. No, that wasn't it. Where is the topic? Oh, it was, no. Oh, yeah, here's right here. What's up to Sean? Good name. Right here, shout out to Sean Hodges. This is the important thing that we have to talk about right now, and it's this comment right here. Y'all can have Siri. Great job. Thank you. I've been enjoying shorting Tesla since 277. That's the whole point of why we do the show and why trading and why I love this job every single day and why I continue. As I said, I had a discussion with one of the trainees already today about what's going on here and trading and why I love coming in every single day. And it's because you never know what you're dealing with. Siri's going to halt to the downside right now and be a nightmare, by the way, very, very soon. So there it is, halting Siri right now at 7:04. But it's like you can really test. What's up, Sean? Thanks for that comment. You can really, really trade any kind of style that's for you. The halting style is not for me. That's why, try to get in, try to get out, work on that, hold for that for the entertainment. It's not going to make or break my day, because I'm the same way as you, Sean. We have $5 damn in the money right now this is a much bigger trade. I'm going to make 10x here. Like I said, Coinbase is going to be the #1 stock here today, but I'm going to make 10, 20x on this position once I close it, then whatever happens to Siri, period, So, that's sort of the difference here about making sure that, you trade names and trade styles and setups that you believe in. Therefore, you can put in more risk on that, right? And so this is what I'm talking about. Here we go. It's a monster move for Coinbase, and we still got a piece on for that. We still got 20% on of Coinbase. We only have 10% on of Apple, but that's the same thing, right? I'm like, we could have Tesla, we could have Apple, you could have Siri, you could have any of these names, and as long as you're making money or losing money, whatever, getting some experience, that's what we're talking about. We already heard Obi, talk about it, and I respect his honesty because that's what we're all about, talking about how he was in simulation mode today, trying to just
but you know what?
Get the reps in.
What's his stock? Amazon, and
I have to talk to Obi about that. That's ridiculous to say like I only have one stock.
I know, so it's a bit extreme, but at least it was on that, because I think like if Obi got shut down on, I don't know, make up something else, Netflix, I'm just making it up, he'd be mad at himself, and probably rightfully so, because he analyzes Amazon every single day. I will say this: there was no underfill. So remember I was saying get out 05, break even on the reverse, and then look for the long underneath. There wasn't really anything underneath yet on Rivian. But there's one thing I know for sure with regards to Amazon. Like I had this line drawn on Amazon, 131.50. This was absolute gold. Now, yeah, you're trading other things at that time. Amazon isn't the first stock I'm looking at, but that's kind of it. Like if it's your jam and you notice this level, why is that drawn? Should always go over that. This is what 131.50 looks like when you look at the last week. Look at the support. Look at the support breakdown. So if Amazon's your stock, then you should be shorted underneath here. I noticed it. I actually was looking for it along the other day, but it's not one of the stocks that usually, even in big cap, that's my first place to go to, except when it was bouncing off that long. Just a note on Siri, because we should be updating. The tap is 669 on a 704. So I think if it were to continue, I just look right back. So the breakout price was 667. So I'd be looking right back into this level. This, 667, and then down here at 630. One of those two wants to hold, then I think that could be maybe a reload, or if it's going to continue to go, that should be one of the two levels. I like to respect those kind of hold prices. There's so much liquidity on the stock. I think you give it that tight stop and then see what can happen with it. I had a trail stop out there because I didn't like the fail break at that big level historically. There's also, there's a few other things that are moving. Rivian's obviously making some big moves, but I just want to go over was exciting. But look at Tesla base out here. That last leg down in the futures, Tesla barely broke the bottom. Like that one, that one that was like 50 handles in the NASDAQ or whatever it ended up being, Tesla barely moved here. It feels like it doesn't want 10% down. I had one shot at the long. I feel like there might be another one here going into power hour, but I'd like to see it wick the bottom, make a real test of the low, and then try to grab a long off that wick bottom. I like that setup for a long a bit better.
Guys, we're starting to need maybe some new graphics because honestly, like right now we're $6 in the money on Coinbase. As I don't know what's happening. I mean, we can look at Bitcoin here, of course. Let's just have a quick look to see what BTC is doing. We know it's at 29.6 right now, so there is a move happening to the downside. Oh, and of course I reload my crypto chart here. It doesn't want to work. Okay, let's see if it loads now. There it is. All right, let's go over. This is a 1 minute chart. Let's go to like a 3 minute chart just to get a little bit of a better look right now as we start to head to the downside on BTC. So there's the pretty dramatic move, but that happened really early. Like we actually got this Coinbase trade. I'll have to go double check the time, but that was a nice move to the downside. All I really noticed was Coinbase kind of basing out a little bit there. So here it is. We just talked about where we're at now on crypto. I keep saying crypto, but of course we're just looking at BTC now. 29.7, we just flushed a little bit, which is, we didn't really get that. I mean, we do have some good action there. Ethereum also, by the way, 18.8 right now for an update, but there's Coinbase completely flushed off VWAP. So, I mean, this is what I mean, to have that hindsight, or that horse sense, to be able to hold that, to know that that's coming back in like that dramatically would have been something special. But, I don't have the ability to do that. But there it is right here. We are bouncing right now. What did we just get out of? Oh, Siri opened up and we got stopped out. So hold on a second. There goes Siri. Hold for entertainment. Reliable. Rudy. No, it's all good. That was only the last 20%. But there it is right now, trying to make its move back up. We got stopped out on reopen there. I don't know what my price was at, 670. Okay, that must have been right. Probably 675. I didn't even know. I didn't even look at my stop order there, but probably 675 stop. So there's the move. Here it comes right back down. I would say honestly, Siri is going to most likely be a great second day play tomorrow, obviously. I could halt again. We'll probably go back up to the upside right here. But I don't know how to properly trade these things until they really start to barcode and give us an entry. So for me, we'll halt it out on Siri rate. Well, halt it out. We'll stop trading it for myself until maybe we get a halt to the upside, and we'll see if we can pick up something on the bid when that happens so that we can enjoy the move up. But that was definitely not even a big volume on that reopen, to be honest with you. But we'll wait to see. Doing volume here. Brendan's already talked about the huge the huge float that exists. We know it's 31% short interest. There it goes. Wow. Okay, so now
that was levitation.
Now they're trying to go. It was just at 70. Someone put a bid there for probably a couple million shares at 90, crossed it up, held everything. So now let's see, can they get it to go down? If they can, it's going to halt at some level. So let's wait to see here. Back up to $7. There goes Sirius Satellite Radio again. Yeah.
That was a miss.
Maybe 660.
You couldn't catch that punch. Like that was the entry that I would have looked for, but you couldn't catch that hit because like the second it got through the halt price, it levitated to 90. Like the whole point is that you can try to get 71 or 72 and then give it to that bottom. But if you chase it to 80s to 90s where it gravitated to, then your risk becomes 30 cents or 40 cents, and with slippage maybe even more. That's not going to work. So I'm not, I missed that trade. It did kind of set up, and it'll look like on the chart that should have been easy, but trust me, it wasn't. Rivian's still holding. We do have a poll up because Mr. Westermeyer asked in the chat. We should do a poll on SSR for Tesla. SSR means down 10%. So will Tesla go down 10% at any point? It doesn't have to close there. Just will it touch 10% down? I voted no. So that's my vote. Right now it is basically 50-50. 51% said yes, 49% of you are saying no. If you want to engage in the chat and answer this poll, you have to be a subscriber. It is a subs only chat. So hit the like, hit the subscribe. Let us know if you think Tesla is going down 10%. You never know how the day is going to go. If you'd asked me If you'd asked me in the morning at about 9:45 when I was battling Intel, that this day would be as exciting as yesterday, I've been like, I don't know, I don't think it's going to happen. And then it ends up being true. So there's a heck of a lot to like here in terms of opportunities and trades that you can put on, whether it's small cap, whether it's big caps. This might halt up, but every time I think Siri's about to go on another halt, I'm about to say it, and then it doesn't halt. There's been like 5 times as many fake halts as there have been actual halts on this stock. But I do want to go back over to Guard Force. It looks like the 8 fail was the right way to get out. It failed 8. It tried to hold up there. It is right back underneath $7. So take the money and run is the way I tend to approach small cap trades. Like, it's just get in, get out, make the quick structured trade, and then you don't have to worry about it. Like, try to hold something for the home run, but make sure you have yourself a bit of an out. Mr. Westermeyer, you're the GOAT.
There we go.
Oh, I love it. When I come, I'm bringing apple fritters from Tim Hortons for him for sure. I'll be bringing something for everybody too. I love you, brother. I love apple fritters. They're the greatest pastry in the entire world. But it's all about the community, brother. So if you come through, you can ring the bell. We'll maybe even go out for some drinks. That'd be fantastic. But I appreciate it. We appreciate you guys just as much. There was some other big stock that I wanted to get to, and it starts with N and ends with Vidya. But I can't quite. What's that stock again?
Netflixity?
The one that's going to go to 450 any second now.
I don't know.
Meanwhile, I mean, if your portfolio today consists of Sirius Satellite and Guard Force, you're probably happy. If it consists of any stock that most people own, then you're probably like, we're going down today. So NVIDIA's at the low of the day and breaking. We got to talk about some things that are actually moving in the market, that are market movers. 450 is not SSR, but it's a pretty obvious, I'd say, bounce spot. Like, very similar to that 131.5 on Amazon. We're in power hour now, so it would be pretty interesting to see if we get a bit of a wipeout bottom at that 450 level on NVIDIA. Speaking of Amazon, that just broke 130 to the downside.
Yeah, I mean, we've been net short all day. I mean, we continue to hold these shorts into the close. We've already made, I mean, shout out to Dylan who, I was type of Dylan in the chat here. Shout out to Dylan who asked about the SPY today, and I was saying where could we possibly go for 450, 250 is what we said, what I said anyways, and look where it is right now. It is continuing that move downside. So again, congratulations to anybody that was able to catch that move down. I mean, I don't know, he said he was going to retire or something if that happened. So, yo, what's up, Dylan? Congratulations on your best day ever, hopefully, if it's a retirement kind of a day. But there it is, nice move to the downside. We called this earlier, and obviously, you know, we don't have the short, but we have shorts and everything else, including both Apple and Coinbase. And let's just talk about that real quick, real quick right now, because as you can see, there is a downside move happening there in the spiders. So we want to make sure that we do capture this. So I just put my stop right now. I put it to 102, but I was debating, you know, even as we start to fall down there, maybe even 101.60. Let's do that for Coinbase. I mean, it's already 307. We're already in. I mean, this is already 550 in the money. I mean, I don't, you know, what else are we supposed to do right now? So I know we're going to do that. What is this level? Was it a 66? What is that top right there? Ooh, 50? Okay, well, I miscalculated that. Let's go to 66. Give ourselves a little bit more room, obviously, with Coinbase here. This is what I'm thinking about, is you have this spread right there. So obviously, as we get a little bit spready with it, we're going to have to try to avoid getting, you know, stopped out by just a tick higher or lower. Like, the thing is, you don't want it to hit something and then continues to go up. If I don't take out the level at 66, the next thing you know, I'm paying like 102 or something. So let's just wait to see if that will continue to work, but so far so good. And then an update on the Apple trade. This is pretty easy for me. I'm just going to use this 193.50. Again, we're $2.34 in the money, so no matter what, this will be a $2 win as well. I like the fact that you said Amazon's starting to go to the downside. That was one of the names that I was looking at earlier. Wow, yeah, now we're really going. Was one of the names that I was looking at earlier. Down 5, now 4.5%.
Tesla's still not moving.
Ooh, wow, yeah, that break of 131 actually right there was the retest back on Amazon. That's, you know, that's sort of the dream that you're waiting for to hopefully get filled there somewhere once it moves back
OBG
up.
chatted me that, but I think, but like he said, he actually messaged me that, the 131 breakdown. Like, I know he'd been all over it, but he lost, he got shut down in the morning.
Yeah,
you leave some bullets on, because like that was easily the trade that he would have been looking for. You know, when you would have had something, I know he would have had it for that breakdown. Siri is now halted 31, 731, tap 728, but With the market doing this, all of a sudden, this wick high on Rivian, it's hard to want a long up here when you've now wicked this top. So now I'm thinking double top, wick top. We did try that long. It's not that much, like the volume's starting to taper a little bit. It feels like I should be trying to short this level again with the market doing what it's doing. It's hard to imagine you're going to have enough gusto if the market continues to flush to take Rivian through this high of the day when it's such a big level on the daily chart as well. Like there are wicks above 26 here to 26.40 to 26.70, I think it is. So I feel like this should be more of a short into that high of the day, which is 26.14. So, a lot of times you let the market try to dictate what you should be doing. Once we get back underneath 26, I'm going to try and get that short on. I should also be trading ATVI. I don't even know what I'm doing. Like since that news came out, it's like scalp city on that stock, but there's been some other interesting things to look at too.
Yeah, no, for sure. All right. Yeah, we don't have much going on. Give us some names here in the chat that potentially you want us to look at, because I think that's the next stage right now for us. So let's do that. All right. So that Amazon breakdown. Yeah, continuing. I think you just want to short it off 130. I think that's kind of the no-brainer call right there for anybody that had that trade. Let's just look at AMD. It's another name that we should still be short. Holy shit. 110 right now was not, it's part of my language, was not realizing that this was that far down right now for Amazon. So, oh, yeah. Okay, or for AMD, that's a good level. We've seen 110 before. Let's just zoom this back out. And this is what I wrote down on here today. It was, we're going to short this thing until it gets back above 120. And if it wants to give us that 122 like it did yesterday, then okay. It's down 12% from that high yesterday, right? 122 down to 110. I know it's not 12% exactly. It's called 10%. Nice downside move there as we're back into a possible level where we could find some buy areas, maybe down here at 110. We've actually been bouncing off 110 already. So let's go to AMD. Let's try it a little bit here. We'll see if we can. Okay, well, I just bid 12s and we got that fill as it ran us over a little bit. But there it is right now. So let's see if we can get something back up. We'll take a piece for a dime. Where else do we want to go on this trade? Back to the 50, that is the 21 period right there. So I don't want to say all we do is win, but there's one right there. 110.50 maybe coming back in for a piece. That's just 10 cents. I mean, this trade is going to get spicy real quick on us if it's wrong. So we're going to have to set up that 110 out. So if that's going to be our spot to break it out to the downside, that's why we take that little bit of an out there just because. So now let's wait. Here it comes falling back in now. I don't know if this is a level or not, but this is what trading is all about. You put your money in where you think you have the best chance to win, and this level of AMD at 110. Although the market is sick, and we already have, like I said, multiple dollars in the money everywhere on the short. Let's take a shot for a long. We've seen AMD down here before, right there. So let's try. This goes all the way back about 2 weeks. Last time we broke it, we did go down to 109.50. I'm not interested in that. If it breaks it again at 110, we're just out. There's no point in holding on to longs today. The market's not necessarily bouncing. Are we at any key levels? I mean, we did the work earlier for everybody on the NASDAQ as well. So did everybody. And I said, remember, like if we could break this 15.7, where are we going next? And it was right down to where we are right now. Then the next level is down into here, 15.4. So again, try to see possibly the other side of the coin. It's been a bullish run up for the last 8 months or whatever it is. And now it's time to maybe pay the piper a little bit as, some of these names are coming back in. But remember, the market does have, an ability to forget about what happened yesterday and just move on to tomorrow. So we'll see. Next thing you hear, Tesla's upgraded, Apple's doing something, something's doing something, and the market's right back up. But for today, let's hold on to some of these longs. And if you're wondering why I'm talking about short terms, is because me and Neil have to be flat at the end of every single day. So right now, it's not like we can hold this name or anything until the close, which we can, but we can't hold it after that. So if there's any swing potentials today, we won't talk about them until maybe near the end of the day. But for right now, let's just see if there's any love for this long. But right now, here goes Apple. I mean, Apple's now $250 in the money and still trying to go lower. So yeah, definitely we'll have to look at that. And here goes AMD. Looks like it does want to take down. Here it is. I mean, look, there is some size there.
Siri's open,
Not
by the
for
way.
long. Oh,
Someone
Siri,
had asked about. I saw someone in the chat asking, is anybody swinging long? So obviously, we're not after what Sean said, which is obviously true. But just understand, like this is, it may be squeezing like big time for the first time today, but it is fair to say Siri, it was at 320 in May. It was at 360 1 month ago.
Yep.
So it was up 50% from May to July in 2 months. So it is a big run to the upside. It's very, very liquid. It profiles a little bit differently from some other squeeze names. That's all I will say. Everyone do your own thing. I don't really have a setup like this. To me, this was the most easy. I've never really seen a breakout setup that looks like this, so it was a pretty easy setup. Now I don't have much. There would have been a long off here if I could have got it. So I'm back over to Rivian, which is at a big level. I keystroked. I had a stop order still, and you know when you have that stop order for a long, but you cancel getting the long, but you still have it in there, you get short,
about it.
and it immediately punches you. You go short, and it insta punches you out. So I got in and out there because I had a stop in there.
Might halt again.
And now I'm short again. I just took the same price short, 97s. But this is now heading down. I want to get something in the 80s out on Rivian. Now remember Rivian, big key level down around this 26. If it rejects, I think we could see VWAP. Amazon's actually bouncing a little bit here, but the thing that's now really interesting is Tesla made that wick bottom. I've drawn a line in the chart. That line represents 10% down on Tesla, maybe give or take a cent or two. But if it gets to SSR, I am looking for an SSR bounce on Tesla. I just want to see that 10%. It's short sell restricted. It makes it much more difficult for people to hammer the stock to the downside. So I'm looking for an SSR bounce. It is now less than $1 away from that bottom. Rivian got that fill in the 80s, looking for the 70s. Then we look for 50s. This 3-minute chart is insane because I still can't believe that Rivian bounced as far as it did. That's ridiculous. Affirm's at 17. Yeah, tube 37. Wow. Are you kidding me? Affirm. Oh, no, it didn't get to 18. That's a bad wick. Okay. I was about to freak out because I looked at my level 2 and it said 18.00 was the high of the day. And I would have been pissed off that I wasn't short 99s. So Affirm's at 17. There's no size on the bid here. It's just kind of hanging out in the middle of nowhere. I like Rivian because it's at 26. I mean, short Affirm as a concept, I have no issue with that. It's just, I don't really see the entry on it for here. Like, are you wrong if it goes to 10? Maybe you risk 10 cents, it goes to the low of the day. That's not that bad. It's not that bad. Like, you can short an even dollar break, but there's no size. Risk 10 cents. If it goes to the low of the day, that's 4 to 1. So if your average out is every 10 cents, then you can get 2 to 1 if it goes all the way. If you're just taking it out every 10 cents, that's not bad. But I just like something at a more key level than that.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, AMD, we bought some 110.01s there, able to get those out at 18. But again, our average price is still right here at 10, so we didn't put that much more into it down there. I still feel like it's going to break. So my sort of thing there, as I hear you mention Affirm, is I wouldn't, and like Neil said, I think if you're going to have a quick out, I think that's the right way to go about it, because if you're going to short Affirm right now, I just look at this and say, why is Sirius Satellite Radio starting to go off, right? And we sort of talked, here goes AMD, by the way. And we did get out of Coinbase. So that stopped us out at that 101.60 level, which is fine. I think it's at 102 now. But I just think that if they're going to start running the gauntlet about stocks that are shortable right there, Affirm is at, there we go, we got out of AMD. Affirm is at that level right now of 17%. So, it could be one of the next characters to make said move.
What's
wow.
Upstart doing?
Apple is just, like, this is stink face for Apple. Like, okay, right now $3 and still going to the downside. Before we go to Brendan, let me just double check that Coinbase out. No, so when it got out, it went to 101.90 there, but we got a pretty good fill there at 76s there. So yeah, we give up a little bit. That sucks, as it's coming back down to the downside as well. So all right, AMD continues to fall. What's up, Brendo?
Looks like another deal getting blown up here this afternoon. There's one the midday guys were on as well. BAK is a Brazil petrochemical company. A court ruling in Brazil looking like it's going to block the sale of the company.
Oh, speaking of which, I should go over this other one. We'll get to BAK in a second, but that HZNP was the other one. There was a deal that was already, it was already kind of blown up because it's a 116.5 and it's been trading just above $100, so big time spread there. I shorted this one poorly. I FOMO'd, and you always have to, when this happens, you got to make sure you admit it to yourself, because it bounced off 101. It went up. You can hardly see this wick. It got up to 102.80. There was a reserve at 102.80. And I tried to get short 70, 75. I was chasing it down. I couldn't get it. It went all the way into the low. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. What an unbelievable short it was. So then when it went to 10, think about it. I didn't see an iceberg at 101.80. I just saw one at 102.80 and missed that one, and it flushed $2. So then I just shorted 101.80 because I was mad at the trade that I missed. And then I lost that 20 cents. It goes all, thank you that it did this. It went all the way back to that 102.80, broke the iceberg, re-engaged, and I shorted on the way back and was able to get that move because sometimes the market allows you to atone for an idiotic move, which was chasing the trade that wasn't. And by making something up in your head $1 lower, oh, if there was a reserve at 102.80, there's going to be a reserve at 101.80, Neil. No, actually do the actual trade. Just don't make something up out of your head, take the hit. This one I got lucky with that it actually came right back to the same level and gave you the trade a second time. So if this is a similar move in, I think it was BAK you just said. I mean, usually what you're looking for is you want to see a seller at the previous price that it broke down. So you want to see like an iceberg or a size seller, either at 20s here or 25. I'm not seeing anything. Or at the highs, you're expecting it doesn't break the high of the day, but I'm not really seeing much on this name. And the liquidity is not nearly as good, but that's okay because Rivian is going downside. I always have to hit enter twice in the afternoon. It's weird. So we got to 70 fill. We'll get something in front of 25 even, 25.50. Then we look for VWAP on Rivian, the 26 short, giving it up. Sirius still doing exactly the same things before. And Tesla, it was 261.83, not 262.83. That's my bad. But either way, it doesn't matter. Oh, sorry, it was 292. Sorry, 262.13 it might have actually been. That's what that line is. It doesn't matter. It's not really bouncing here. It's just continuing to flush. So an SSR bounce, you want to see, okay, this could be it. It tagged 10%. So if you voted no like I did, you're wrong. If you were the 10% that voted yes, you are right. So I am now long. My stop is going to be underneath the low of the day, and I am not giving it a cent past that.
Yeah, that's 262 flat basically right now on Tesla. So it does look like it wants to take that down right now. And there it goes. No. There it goes. No. Okay, so just resisting that 262. Obviously,
it'll probably break.
Oh, no.
It'll break because I'm in it.
Not just that, I didn't break regardless
there
if
it
you're
goes.
in or not. Yeah, there it goes. Yeah, all these names. This is what I said. I feel like I'm getting a lot better at this, and that is. Although what I'm about to say is going to be wrong because of AMD, and that is just that why fight these trends? We battled obviously back to green today. We're on the green side of things, which is always good. You don't want to be the other way around on these plays, but you could see right there. There's the break of 262. It's better to get out. You never know where it's going to go. We had that same sort of mess up there on Tesla. I mean, look at this. Like we were long on Tesla earlier. These are 275 bids and stuff like that. So, the fact that it's all the way down here at 262 saved ourselves. Better to take $6 winners than $6 losers. And that would be an example right there on Tesla as that's continuing to go. All right, WFC. Obviously, we had that short earlier. Banks really starting to win. So right here, we actually only had 20% left when that cracked right there, all these outs, and then it went to the upside. So again, R to R, WFC is going to be a top name as well. But there it goes right back up to the upside. So I'm thinking it's all about the rotation right now. I mean, all the banks are well up, and well, I don't know about well up. WFC is, and the JP Morgan 1.2%. Like the NASDAQ down 2.5. The ES right here, as you can see, only down 0.8. So it's too bad that Dillon guy wasn't in the NQs instead of the SPYs, because today the NQs are leading the way to the downside. And like they said on the midday, I think it was a pretty easy.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty easy call that, when you have the two names that are going to report out of the gate that are both, one is up 300% this year, which is going to be, or from its bottom is Netflix, and the other one's up about 250% from its bottom. You are going to have to sort of show up or get out, and I think that's sort of what happened right there. Just on the spirit of, and that's why the NASDAQ, like I said, most likely why it's going to the downside. Okay, so the next name maybe, I'm just going to check out on GameStop. Again, pretty barcoded action, not much happening. Neil, you mentioned earlier something was, Siri was maybe the next GameStop, not that you...
No, I said it's not a GameStop.
Yeah, sorry, what I was saying is that brought it to my attention, so I wanted to look here at GameStop. Yeah, it's not. I mean, GameStop went to what, 450? What was the high of that?
Very different liquidity.
Very, very different liquidity and very, very different everything right now. GameStop at the time, did have this bankruptcy news, and then we had Cohen was in there, and lots of different aspects for GameStop.
I got to say something.
And COVID.
A lot of people are asking us to look at PSQH.
What the hell is
so that PSQH stock, it's actually not on our system today. Like at Day Trade the World. So we can't call it up. I think you can probably call it up on eSignal, or maybe we can pull it up on Trade Ideas or something like that. It's just we can't trade it. And the only reason why we're not looking at that PSHQ is because it's PSQH or PSHQ. One of those two. That's the only reason. So we're not trying to avoid the stock. It's when we can't trade it sometimes we don't really look at it.
AMD here.
So we just very quickly here, if you want to have an idea of how to manage risk, make sure I always say this, if you're going to go counter trend, have an out before you get in. You should have an out before you get into any trade, but I think it should always be a really tight stop. There's no distance on my chart between the entry and the exit. Like Tesla can move $10, I'm risking 30 cents anyways. Don't care. It's against the grain. That's just how it is on this. But if it bounces from here, I can live with it because I wanted one trade at that level. I've taken 2 longs. One was good, one was not. But this is all red to the downside. I don't know if we might get VWAP here. I'm going to get in front of VWAP on Rivian because a lot of times you can catch a bit of a bounce. It's been a pretty strong recovery. It's 325 also. We're going to get the early look on the imbalances on a 2.5% down day on the NASDAQ. What gets interesting is that notion of at 355 you get reversals. That gets really spicy when the market's down 3% or 2.5%, whatever it is. 2.5% now, it could be 3% by the time we get to 350. That gets really spicy if we're 3% down. So the imbalances could be interesting, not necessarily for what they come out as, but what they end up doing at 355 on any kind of a reversal. But the market is absolutely plunging just for what's in giggles. It's now late enough in the day that I probably wouldn't put a trade on Siri anyways, but it has managed to not halt in a while. It's at $7. If this closes above the original breakout halt and opens above there tomorrow, I think there's going to be a lot of people trading Siri. It's only done 80 million shares today. I say only. Given the float, this could, if it holds up tomorrow, this could do a ridiculous amount of volume, which would be nice to see. I would love to see this do like 200 million and then lead everybody in volume. That'd be sick, but has to happen first.
That'd be awesome. We'll look to see that now it goes below 7. Okay, so you might have heard me say, I think let's try the short of AMD here. I don't, will we collapse into the close or not is really just going to be the answer that everyone's going to look for, especially me here, as we wait to see where we're going with AMD and with this market. Let's just check on NVIDIA. I mean, if NVIDIA is going to continuously bounce off of 450, then probably AMD won't continue its move down. But imagine if and when. I shouldn't say when, it's more about if NVIDIA does take that 450. And it's not like when you're looking back here at the stock that you're actually looking for a key level there. It's just more like the psychological level of 450. But when you scroll back, there actually is some bottoms here around 450, 451 that we've seen before. So that's, talk about that. You're down 30. Even though this is not a huge move, that's 480. That's $30 on 450. So it is a nice pullback here for NVIDIA. There's still a lot more room to go. So I think tomorrow, whether or not we see 420, 430, something like that on the downside, you could still wipe this out, man. It's basically from today. How many dollars is this off today? If you go to the high, 470 down to 450, so about $20 in downside. Wow, Apple is now exploding to the downside, and now $3 in. Like the market is really, really collapsing here for some specific names, like an Apple. Right now, it doesn't seem like NVIDIA wants to go down, nor does our new position of AMD. But Apple right now starting. I just noticed because the P&L is starting to get upside right now. We just put a stop at 193. I might change this to right here, man, 192.85, or why not just this bottom right here, 192.70. We're trying to hold this, man, top to bottom right now for Apple. So, like I said, man, this NASDAQ is it gonna crack 3%? What are we down? 2.5 right now. So probably 3 is in the cards at some point here for Apple.
So just a couple of things here. I have 7 consecutive green candles on Amazon on my 3-minute. That's a little bit weird. Into the market flushing.
Yeah.
Continuous lows. If the market bounces, Amazon through 130 might look a little bit interesting, but I think you're getting ahead of yourself if you're going against the grain. You want specific setups. I might not get that view up on Rivian, but I am watching it pretty closely. I like that someone in the chat was just saying the only trend board, the only 2 tech stocks you can trust are Deere and Adobe. I guess they're having good days today. I can see why both those types of names as tech names would do relatively well because, yeah, they're tech companies, but I mean, one of them's a legacy name and the other one, obviously, it has a little bit to do with agriculture as well. But yes, it is a tech company. Caterpillar is a tech company too, just as much as Deere at those highs. But you said the word rotation, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes that's what you get. And you can rotate from one tech to safer tech. Happens too. What's IBM doing today? Probably not having that bad of a day.
They reported.
I know. I cheated on that one because they reported. And they had a decent report. Affirm, if you took the break at 17, not bad. I think you're risking 10 cents. It gave you 9, and you could still be in it. Wasn't my cup of tea. I like where Rivian was a little bit better. NVIDIA popped. Yeah, there's some names bouncing here. Yeah, that's got maybe not as strong a move up from the bottom as Amazon, but a decent one nonetheless. Could have just been early on Tesla, but I can live with that. Like, there's nothing, if you're counter trend, you got to be able to live with, you get it wrong and you limit the loss, but you didn't just fight it to try to make it work every single time at that level. I took the shot. Maybe you can take a second one, but I'm not going to fight it that much at 330. I think I want to hold on to shorts. If I find an entry on something for like a reload, fair enough. If I find something that hasn't bounced, I can play sympathy. That's fine too. But this is one of those types of days where you don't want to fight it, you don't want to give up what ended up being a surprise good day in a lot of ways. The early look on the imbalances, I have not seen. I still don't see it on my Twitter feed. I don't know if any of you guys have it out there. So yeah, Javier, thank you very much. $627 million to buy. That's the early look.
Okay. Yeah,
that could be spicy because I think
AMD just went up there. So
I think it flipping from a buy to a sell would make it pretty. If we bounce from here, then when it comes out at 350, if it ends up not a buy and turns to a sell at 350 and we bounce, that could make for an unbelievable short on some names. I'd be looking. I mean, Tesla could be like a 66, 67. If you were watching NVIDIA. That's another name we should be talking about here. Like that gap fill 56, 57. It's not really a gap. I mean, kind of like from here to here. 56, 57 at 350 could be a bit of a play. But if you're not already long these bounces, I'm not chasing the long. I tried on Tesla, swung and missed. If you held on, then you gave it more risk than I was willing to give. Yeah. And that's fine. I'm risking 30, 40 cents, something like that. I'm not risking $1, not at this time of day. Amazon is so strong right now.
I think all these weak names are starting to get bids. We talked about that, about how the market has a short memory and, probably just getting lined up for tomorrow. We actually just got stopped out of AMD right now, and I'm trying one more time here against this 110.35 high. If we get stopped out again, then that's that. We've already tried to play it off 110. I think the problem is that when the market makes these kind of moves, like we said, we're still going to be green. It's not a huge deal here. But as you can see, no, don't go. There it is. Okay, stopped out of the last piece there as it just continues to go up. We tried to go long, then we tried to go short. So we'll just hit a fail right there, or flush ourselves on the toilet. I don't think we failed too much at all. But there we go. Nice little flush down to the downside right now for the P&L as we just got back and forth there a little bit. If there's going to be maybe some bounce names, what about Meta? We know wow, 303, okay. Didn't even realize that's where Meta was today, down 4%, and that's funny. You had that bottom there of 303 exactly. But when you look back, there's going to be a lot of names that are now going to be at bottom, so that's going to be something to consider as well as you try to find some safety here. Meta just bouncing maybe off 304, but there's the market just finally going back to the 50 period right now, so... what was that number again? 600 million?
627 to buy. You know what was the bounce? I was so caught up with the Tesla SSR bounce that I totally forgot about Carvana at 45. Remember 45 on Carvana, that high that the breakout was just completely insane? And the other day it bounced off 45. I keep saying the other day as if it wasn't yesterday in the pre-market.
Right.
It is so, like there was... like Carvana was so active in the pre-market, and yesterday it made yesterday so exciting. And then you had like Carvana, then you had the AI stuff, you had all kinds of stuff happening yesterday. That it feels like it was 2 days in one yesterday. So yesterday, Carvana 45. So I was waiting for the 45 bounce. It doesn't have to look like much, but look what it did. 45.10 opens up, gives you the next candle, gives you a 20 to 25 entry point there. You're risking, if you risk to the low, it's 15 cents in slippage. If you risk to 45, it's 25 cents in slippage, and it breaks 46 even. That's what you're looking for in a bottom play. Get out, get in, get the money and run, maybe hold on to a piece for the home run trade if you can do it. Little ghosting action there, but yeah, I missed it. And that's the thing about, you can't trade two things at once, so you got to make that choice. Like Tesla was at the level, so I made the choice of Tesla. I wasn't really looking at Carvana. But if you're only solely focused on Carvana, and as it's coming to the downside, waiting for that 45, you can't miss that one. You don't want to miss something like that. So good look if anybody was able to catch that up there. What is Reigns? What is SSR regarding Tesla? That just means short sell restricted. So on any North American stock, US, so like NASDAQ, New York, formerly the AMEX, once it hits 10% down at any point intraday, one tick, it is short sell restricted. That means you can only initiate a short sell position aggressively by removing liquidity from the bid if the last print is an uptick. It's called the uptick rule. And so that lasts for the rest of that day and then for the next day. So tomorrow, people can't short by hitting the bid tomorrow on Tesla. A lot of times, that makes it hard for it to continue to flush, and you can get these little squeezes and relief rallies off levels like that. That's why I was anticipating a bounce at SSR on Tesla today. Sometimes it's really clean, like when it wicks it. Other times it has to stop some paper hands out like myself and then go. So I think that's what you're getting. But here, it's a relief rally that we see as day traders every now and then. So it's something to put in the toolbox. It's not some tried and tested rule like go long every single stock that goes down 10%. If you want an example of why you don't do that, Carvana's down 17%. At some point today, I don't even know where it is, it would have hit SSR too. Somewhere around here-ish. If you can find an SSR bounce in Carvana, maybe not. It just flushes right through it. The difference with like a Tesla or Netflix is those are big, heavily traded names that people actually want to own. So when that's the case, the SSR bounce gets pretty juicy because it's like that's a good company down 10%. So you look for the bounce there. It didn't work out for me, but if you held through, it worked out for you.
All right. I'm just debating. So Apple got stopped out for a $2.50 winner or so. So we are now out of Apple, and there it is. Now the next short for Apple is going to be up here, 193.50 or so. Hopefully that can come in, and we'll be able to. I mean, I'm sitting there. Actually, I'm not. They canceled it because they got flat in there. 193.38 or so. We'll try that. Then if it breaks up too much higher, then we can get out of this name because those levels. And again, we just want to be patient, right? 193.51. So we'll get out if it does go back up to that side, but now we have to wait to get more short or get short first, closer to that into the 40s. We'll try that short, see if it does work out for us. You know, I reckon it will. Let's just see if it does get back up, like up into that level, and then we'll see where we go from there. So, you know, you got to have some rules when you're trading, obviously. We did go back and forth there with AMD. Remember I said, like, I'm not going to be, you know, trying to fight this too much. So we got in and out there. I was just trying with smaller shares, so that's why we have a lot of in and outs. It's just like, okay, we're stopped out. Let's try something else. Okay, we're stopped out again. And either way, we didn't get that pullback in. So I saw a comment in there like, why would you basically lose 10 cents 2 or 3 times there? And it's because that's sort of what I was, not that I was looking to lose on the trade, never looking to do that. But what we're trying to do is trying to catch it so that if there is a pullback, even if there's a 20-cent pullback, you can lose twice on 2 10-cent sort of tries there, right? That's all. If I was using, like if this was a bigger position, then obviously you wouldn't be scalping it back and forth like that for just continuous losers. Right now the market is a little unstable at these levels, I would say. Like that just came into 10 and bounced around. It went down once it broke 75 cents there. So that's why we got back into the short, just seeing if that, you know, was a potential to maybe happen again. And that's not the case. But right now you are building a case right now for, you know, murder was the case that they gave me. old song again.
Great
but,
song.
Yeah, exactly. 110.50. See, so like right now, I would say this is where maybe you'd want to put on a trade, in and around 40 or something. If you put it on for X amount of shares, whatever you want, then you'd be able to see hopefully some correlation there by getting out, because now you've seen sort of some levels. As you're coming back to the upside, the only levels that we were really seeing was right around here. So that's what we danced with. So, not great, obviously, getting back and forth in and outs there, but we'll wait to see as now comes AMD right back down to the downside. So I guess how I could have changed that sort of trade there was just to hold, because I wasn't using very many shares, just to hold it in case it did come back in, and that's the thing, mentally, if I'm going to take $3 or $4 winners, I should be able to hold something $1, $1.50 against me, but that's not the way I trade. So here it comes, AMD right back in. And we did talk about trying to short that Apple upside right now. Not only that, as I look at the clock,
it's 3:40. Yeah.
There's only 10 minutes left until it balances.
This is not generally a time that you put a lot of positions on. You can be in something managing it, but as a day trader, to initiate something new, what are the odds that something's trading at a level that you really, really wanted at that point? But to the point that you saw, I saw the line in there, someone just said, sometimes I call in poker just to see what the other guy has, to get some information. Now, as a trader, I actually don't necessarily disagree with that, because you can be probing a short, because there's a difference. You could be I like the short, I like it, it lost, I like it, it was okay, but sometimes you're probing it, you get in, it's what's it doing at that level, and you're not getting in on one entry point, and you can have a really, really tight stop around an area because it's got this little liquidity zone, and you want to see how it behaves in there. So you're willing to take a couple of pot shots at it, because if it breaks away, you're I don't know if it's going to break up or down, but if it breaks my way, it's going to be big. So you take some small shots at it, and then if it goes big. If Rivian broke to the upside here, I was long at one point. If Rivian broke to the upside here, I think it could have gone to 26.50. It happened to break down and it went to 25.50. That might only be a coin flip. I might have only had a 50-50 chance that would have happened, but if your risk to reward is right, then it doesn't matter that it's a 50-50 shot. If the risk to reward is that it should move enough to give you 2 or 3 to 1, and you actually structure your outs that way, then suddenly you can win on a coin flip. That is a lot of the edge that you look for as a day trader, where you only have to be right 55% of the time or 51% of the time or something like that, and get the money in good when you do, and then don't cry about it when your aces get cracked. Although sometimes you get beat so bad you have to just walk away. My Amazon chart, I'm just gonna show this chart here. So I have my black charts that when I look up that I'm monitoring the stocks I'm looking at, but then that one is messing up. Amazon is super strong, man. Maybe I should have just punched long in this and chased the move. I said don't chase. I said I wasn't going to chase the move on Amazon, and then that would have been exactly the right thing to do. So go figure. Amazon. There's one red candle on my 3-minute since that big flush through 130. Since it broke 130, it has been all green. I still say 131.50 is a sell on Amazon. I cannot look. Okay, there we go. I'll go to the 15-minute chart. If we get back to this area, 131.5, I'm fading it. And if that's at 350 or 355, I think this is the one I want to watch. I want to look for the like a turnaround play when the imbalances come out at 350 and 355. There was a question in the chat that was what is the difference between SSR and halts? I answered it in the chat, but for anyone that isn't reading the chat that was curious about something like that, I'll go to Siri because it had some halts. Short sell restricted, we explained that. So a volatility halt just means a stock has moved too far, too fast. For most markets in the US, it's generally 10%. I think it's in a 5-minute period, then the halt band's reset, but then it varies based on price. You can look it up at the NYSE website. They have a big chart about that I don't have memorized. But so that it goes into a volatility halt. It then's halted for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. It opens back up after that. Very, very rarely does it not open up after 5 or 10 minutes in a volatility halt. I've seen it happen maybe twice in 10 years, but it's very, very rare. And you can always see what kind of a halt it is by going over to NASDAQ Trader and NASDAQtrader.com, and they have a trade halts page. You can see series of things that's been halting. It'll tell you the reason, volatility halt. Sometimes it's news. I haven't really seen anything for news. That PSQH, that's had a volatility halt as well, and it'll give you a resumption time when it's going to open back up. So That's a good way. You want to know what's going on. You don't want to be stuck in something that's halted for news and might open up tomorrow thinking it's going to open up in 5 minutes. So it's a great resource. But it's a very important difference understanding SSR and a trade halt. Because at SSR, it's just like a mythical thing that changes the structure of trading. The other one's going to stop and not be trading anymore, and then you're stuck for 5 or 10 minutes. And if it halts after 3:50, you're stuck till 4 o'clock. So if Sirius Satellite halts after 3:50, its reopen will be at 4 o'clock for the aftermarket. That's an important thing to know because it might actually halt up here again at some point.
Yeah, that Tesla.
Yeah, well, that's just how it goes.
Oh yeah, no, I know you had the trade. I
No,
wasn't
but the thing is,
I wasn't gonna talk. I was just gonna say like, wow. Like,
but I've done that. Excuse me. If you try the
so
SSR bottom
many
on
bounces.
that, you could have tried it like 3 or 4 times and eventually get it. But the flip side of that is, you could also try it 3 or 4 times and it keeps going down. So take your shot. You know?
Oh no, I mean I
Yeah.
explained exactly that exact move on AMD. It's like
Yeah, take
AMD
your
only
shot.
went up 50 cents, and I mean it's just the fact that Tesla's went up 450. I'm just saying about how strong Tesla seems to be, a little stronger than I think we all did not expect that to be.
Definitely.
That strong. So there it is right there. Anyways, congratulations if you did catch that bounce off 260. Great job there. We've had now some issues. Not any issues, but Apple, since this short, it did go down to 15 there. I didn't even have any bids out. So now I have a 15 bid. Actually, no, we actually had that out there when it went there. It just didn't fill. So, okay, hopefully this comes down. Shout out to Phil. Hopefully we'll get one now down there at 15. So we'll take a 13 cent, hopefully winner here on a piece. Go, there it is. Yes, sir. Okay, so now we're getting excited back into the downside here. Let's see if we can make a little bit of money on this short again. So there it is. We said we'd try to wait for some levels. It didn't quite get up. I was trying to really get more shares at 35s or so. That didn't happen. Maybe that will come through right now. But here's the short. We just put it on. It's going to be Apple. We've been liking this short for pretty much all day there, and now exactly all day. We started it in the morning. Let's see now where it goes. I don't like that number that we got 300 or 600 something to buy. That's going to be a big effect because if it does come out a bid, I could see easily Apple getting back up to the upside. I'm not going to change any of my orders because I don't know exactly how many shares it's going to come out as, but we are watching out for that level right there. If it does break, then we will be out of there. And what the level I'm talking about is 50. So if you see the imbalance come out quite large, we're going to get out near that 50 marker. And then here's you know what? With that being said, I was waiting for 05s. It just went to 08. Oh, damn it. So I just put a bid now because I was just going to show you the imbalance locator. So let me just do that now that I have my bid out. It's just why really, this is what we're talking about. These are all from 8:30. Ah, shit. Look at Apple go back up. Darn it. But anyways, this is all from 9:30, right? There are some things on ARCA. We actually want to get rid of NYSE ARCA. That's not a major thing unless there it is. So we get, yes, sir.
We can't get rid of it.
We keep hitting too many dollar club ones. We're not hitting the bangs enough right there. But there goes Apple right now. Here's 20 cents in the money, right? So to that trader that was talking about why take these hits when, you should just be holding on to them. Well, I mean, there we go. We just scalped out a little bit for you. Anyways, what's going to happen here at 350? These are all going to update. Or 350, right? They're all going to update, and we're going to see some pressure, hopefully, on some of these names. But Palantir started the day as a sell. Let's see. What did that do early on today? No, see, so it started the day as a sell. Actually, it did go down there. Yeah, there's that wick to the bottom there at 931. Then it moved all the way back up. So we'll pay attention to that. There's the big sell early on Palantir.
Tell me that's not 18
That's
even.
from 930 as well.
Tell me that high is not 18 even.
Yes. It's
Exactly
much.
18?
Yeah, I mean, I was waiting for 1812, literally 18 to the penny.
Because
I was waiting for that 10 price.
The day I shorted 18 was the day 1850 was the high, and then 1850 was the breakup price. So today you wait for 1815, and then 18 is the level, and it flushes. It's frustrating.
I wasn't there. Anyways.
I know. It's because a 99 short that ends up holding, it will always be something a day trader is going to regret. You'll see me. I'm out of Rivian. I did add at 79, so I got an average price of 79. Adding back underneath here, I had a little bit left from 26. I wanted to have a curl trade for 350, but it couldn't hold on to that level. So when it failed at 80, I got in here and then immediately stopped out because I was looking for a lower high, not to hold it all the way back to 26. Not at this time of the day. I don't care Mullen this morning had a sell and bounce. It doesn't really matter. Now I just want to get out of it. It was a short off of this, like a nice little tight stop short off the high of the day that I added at 15 because I just saw it mulling to the ground. It never happened. It didn't do anything. It's got me a half cent, and I'm just going to stop out. 15's got a bit of a brick wall, so we'll get out of that when it happens. Siri, it didn't halt up. I don't know. Like I thought it was going to halt up there, but I guess not. Like it's at the high of the day, but this time it's doing it without any halts. There was an entry. It's going to look like this was an obvious long, but as it was happening, if you weren't watching, we all were. It bounced off 660, reclaimed the halt price. It essentially levitated on the way back up. Someone just marketed it up to 690, so I don't really think you could have had a 670 long here. I think you were long at 680 or 690, which did not fit the risk for me. So I did not re-enter the long trade, but it is going to close the high of the day. I strongly suggest or strongly think that Siri is going to be heavily traded tomorrow. Given it crossed 100 million shares and it's at the high of the day, it's so liquid, and for it to do this, I'm talking either direction. We can probably short this for free, which is almost dangerous. But yeah, this should be on everyone's radar for tomorrow, but the imbalances are coming in about 10 seconds. I'm in a stock, it's not moving, so I'm not really that worried about it. We'll see what they end up coming out as. It was 627 million to the buy side on the early look. Let's see what they are for real. AT&T's a buy. JD's a 1.1 buy.
I don't think the Nasdaq's
Tesla's
are
a
out.
sell.
Oh, the Nasdaqs are out.
Tesla, 950,000 to sell on Tesla. Palantir's to sell for 600,000. Tesla's the only big name I see.
That's strange.
What else is here?
Apple
Nikola.
didn't
Who
move
cares
at
about
all
Nikola?
right there.
Where's the big names on the Nasdaq? I'm not seeing them. I see Tesla.
I feel like
Amazon's a small buy. I don't see Apple anywhere.
Apple, I don't think. I just got some out there at 13
Well, it's just
again
Tesla
for
then.
Apple. I didn't see. I don't see it. So I'm going to bid down there 95s.
I don't see it either.
You know, we could just sort by here. I just sort. I mean, this is pretty easy here. AA. So when you have double A's, it should be near the top here. AAPL. Yeah, it's nothing.
Nothing.
100,000. So right there.
And look at
there's
the
Apple.
paired.
Yeah, no, 4 million.
Yeah.
So there, it was at one point, I guess, a big. Well, it came out of buy. So actually, that doesn't tell us which way it is. It could have already flipped. So, all right. So we don't know anything about Apple or anything right now other than what's on here. We always sort by size because that's what you're looking at. Obviously, when you're looking at the TLT, we're not worried too much about Treasury right now. So that's what that is. That's
Aren't we though?
Yeah, no, that's the Barclays 20-year.
It's every now and then it shows up.
Someone's
But
trying to.
so Tesla's
Ooh,
almost $1 million to
Bank of Nova
sell.
Scotia.
Tesla went up on that. It went the other direction. Every now and then that's just the way it goes. So I think that puts any kind of a fade play out of the way because if you're looking for a pair off trade, you want it to go in the direction of the imbalance, which would have been sell, pair off, and then you go the other direction. That throws that completely out of whack because this went up on a sell imbalance. So I don't think there's a trade for me on Tesla. JD.com I'm now out of. I just got out at 14.9 on Mullen because it's not moving anywhere. And Mullen was a small buy and I was short, so might as well just take, it's like 1/10 of a cent, who cares. JD was an imbalance. It spiked only 7 or 8 cents though, but I'm not used to seeing JD on the imbalance locator, 1.1 million to buy. So this is the one I think I want to watch for a potential flip. What I'd like to see happen is run. High of the day is 37 at 355. Hopefully it would be trading around 37. Then you could short off that level. If it flips or pairs off, you ride it like 10, 15 cents back to the downside. But if it doesn't actually pop up, there's no real trade here on JD. So I'll have that up on another level too. And of course,
Sirius a buy. We didn't even look at that.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, it's a buy.
Oh, I missed it. I thought it was, okay, there it is. Yeah, it is a buy.
All right, so shout out to Reliable Rudy who says, like, hold this for entertainment value. I didn't realize, it's not that I didn't realize it. Yo, what's up, Ramin? There we go, thank you so much. They're getting a lot better, these the switching, for sure.
The thing is, we're both looking at Siri at the same time.
No,
so
I
it can
know,
be,
it's, and whatever, they got to sit there and do it all day. I mean, at least, you know, I guess it can be a little bit boring.
our job's easy.
Yeah, we got the easy one, for sure. So yeah, there it is right there. I guess, I remember when Neil was mentioning like, 660 break or something like that is where the out is. I feel like I just went at that time and put something at the 50 period. Obviously looking back at that, that's gonna be pretty horrendous where we got out of our last 20% for Siri. But there it is. Daryl brought up an $8 level when we looked back. We talked about it was $8 back in 2002. right now, but I think we're all on the same page here. That Siri is going to be a good stock to look at tomorrow. This may even be worth taking the long overnight, but Neil and I cannot do that, as that is not part of trading here at Day Trade the World. Thank you so much for all the kind words that have come through. I just was reading some tweets there as we were going. It does mean a lot. A lot of people cashed in on Apple today. A lot of people cashed in on this Coinbase, and I just want to thank everybody, for the kind words. This is my biggest trade today, Coinbase, my biggest name today. And then we just talked about what was following that up. WFC, a good trade there, AMD. So yeah, not too many names. We actually heard from Brad, who's going to be coming on the air very soon, about trading specific names and then putting your risk. I'm going to give you credit here, Brad, so don't worry about it. About, trading names that I think he said he was 1 for 9. He could talk about this again. And what I'm going to say is that he saw a great opportunity on J&J and was able to take that. So it doesn't take so many trades to make, the dream come true. It's just as long as you're sort of, properly sized, you understand the risk, then you can make that difference, right? And that's what it's all about here at Day Trade the World. And when you are managing risk, that's what you want to see. So Apple just did, I guess, a little bit of a dance there. As I was going to tell you, we had 20% left of this trade, or less than that. Yeah, 20%. So 20, 40, 60, 80. Then our last one's out for flat. So that Apple trade was good. We put a little bit of money back in our pockets there to end the day. So yeah, it's going to be a green day. Whenever you're on the green side of things, you're doing pretty good. That's what that is. Let's see where we go. We got to make sure that people are hitting the like button, though, because we are getting on
well past the foul already.
Oh, we are? Okay, well, let's just do this.
Like and subscribe today.
There we go. Now we did that.
So most things paired off a little bit here, but AT&T's $2 million to buy still after 355. Amazon's a sell of 700,000. Tesla it paired off half, so it's like 490,000. AAL is a sell. I didn't think I saw that there before. JD.com is now gone. So it did pair off, but it didn't make the move up to make the fade trade. Unfortunately, I don't see Siri anymore, so that probably, oh, there it is, 380,000, which into 109 million, I can tell you that's not going to do much of anything. Hecta, what about PSQH? Oh, I thought I mentioned this before. PSQH is not in our system today at Day Trade the World, so we haven't really been able to trade it. I can, this is what my trade ideas chart, I guess it opened just today, and it's got one bar. I can maybe switch this to a 1 minute so you can get an idea what this has done today. Yeah, we didn't have this in the system to trade today, so that's why you didn't see any executions. We should have it tomorrow. It was a decent sized mover. I wasn't tracking it, so I don't want to pretend to be able to tell you I have any idea what the liquidity is or what you should do with it. So maybe we'll have a look at that one tomorrow. It should be in the system. I'm sure someone put a ticket in. If we did not, then maybe I'll put a ticket in myself after market.
Yeah, I mean, nothing hurts. So you can have 10 tickets in there. At least that means it'll be
I can just
more. Yeah, okay, so what do we want to look at here? I mean, just heading into the day here, we had Tesla with a beautiful bounce off 260. That'll be a level to look at tomorrow for sure. Coinbase, we got out at 101.6. Okay, so that's a little bit, but again, the level we got out at, I'm fine with it. Obviously, we would have loved to get out at 101, kind of where we are right now. But I think that was a great trade to the downside. Let's just have a quick look now. AMD still at that level, not doing a whole heck of a lot. So we won't comment too much on that. Tesla, AMD, Apple, I don't have much else in right now. So let's just go back over to Siri, because guess what?
High of day.
Look, Rival Rudy, he wants a shout out for it. I mean, I'll give you a shout out no matter what all the time. I'm doing roll calls there. But you're right, just for entertainment purposes, yeah, I could have been like, yeah, buddy, here we go. But at the same time, man, this has just been a great run up for Sirius Satellite Radio. I told you already that I wasn't trading a lot of shares, so that's going to look crazy bad. But again, out, 20% out there. It sucks. There it goes up to the upside, $8. Would always like to have held something when you see this happen, but huge move up. Maybe an $8 break, you get to see some action. The funny thing about this is once the markets are closed, you could see this name go absolutely haywire because, again, a lot of the big boys aren't going to be there. There's going to be no one to sit there and protect your neck. Put up the W's for Wu-Tang on that one. But, yeah, who knows what's going to happen right now for this. So here comes Sirius Satellite Radio trying to go higher as we get going here into the close.
Tesla might close down 10%. Remember that bounce to 65?
It's going to be SSR no matter what anyway.
Well, yeah, it's SSR no matter what, but the fact that it could close at 10% down after bouncing off of 10%, that's a little bit surprising, but it's been that kind of day after earnings. You know, what's the first stock you're going to look for just to have an idea of what the market's going to do or where the action's going to be? I mean, Siri, obviously, for other reasons, but Tesla has to be on that radar the way it's moved today. We got almost a minute to go. It's been a fantastic day. I actually don't know who's going to be on the bell. I'm assuming it should be Katrine. We're over 1,000 likes. She's shaking the head. It's yeah. She wants it.
She's watching those likes. She's watching those
likes.
likes.
She knows what's up. It's a bear kind of day.
Katrine's long 5,000 shares of Siri, she just told me.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, she's not.
Congratulations!
I wish.
That's hilarious.
I wish.
I think I actually think at one point,
all my orders.
a long time ago, I owned Siri shares for real in my personal account for a brief amount of time. I think I swung it or something like a decade ago. I don't really remember, but it doesn't really matter. It's not like I would have held on to it for any reason. Sirius Satellite Radio. I cannot believe we're talking about that all afternoon. That is the last thing I expected when we came in this
I
morning.
was literally using it as a test stock.
We always do because it never moves, so you don't. Whatever. It's
Shout out
crazy.
to my daughter, Rainbow Loom. She made me a whole bunch of them.
nice.
One on one wrist, one on the other.
You saw Dalton Kincaid made friend bracelets for all of the tight end university guys. So he
Oh,
gave one
I was
to.
gonna say maybe the old lineman or something.
No, he gave one to Kelsey, and I think he gave one to his quarterback. You should have gave one to Josh Allen. Give one to your quarterback. But it is less than 10 seconds. Let's drop the countdown for Katrine. She's excited. Everyone should be. A great day of trading in 5, 4, 3, 2, and ring it. And now the market's closed.
Finit. Okay, wow, what a wild day, and we're just getting started in earnings season.
We are just, that's
I
the crazy
mean,
part.
That's really the crazy part. Neil and I, okay, here goes Siri breaking $8 in the aftermarket, as we said, basically. Just went to $7.99. Actually, it did break 8. It went to
8.14.
8, yeah, 8.14, 8.15, and then just right back down. This is going to get wild right now. But yeah, as Neil and I just said, we turn these bulls into bears right away, pretty much at 8:30, and that was the story. And I feel like
They should be like.
you guys think
more
this
prideful.
maybe was a bad day for the NASDAQ. Hold on a second. I'm going to tell you what's going to be a way worse day right now. What day does NVIDIA report? NVDA.
Not for a bit.
Hopefully I'm here. I can't even see it. Where is it? August 23rd. Good, I will be here. Okay, so that's way ways away.
Oh,
Way
that's
ways away.
yeah. That's even further.
More
than
than
I
a
thought.
month. But you think that today off Tesla and Netflix sort of starting this party to the downside, what happens when the AI craze comes to a halting, not end, but
We'll already have Google by then.
yeah, you know what? I mean, who knows where the market's going to be
Yeah.
in a month? I mean, we just saw Google make down $6 or $7 today from 124 to 118. You saw Nvidia go down $25 today as well. You saw AMD down $5.
Yeah, but we get Google on the same day that we get the Fed next week.
the Fed can
No, but
take a hike.
it's the point that you have it all happening at
there's
once.
gonna
You
be all
have
eyeballs.
major tech earnings in the middle of the week when you already have eyeballs on the Fed. That's going to make next week pretty huge, let alone a month later. You're going to have NVIDIA. Ooh, it's going to be so spicy next week. It's going to be a lot of fun. When are you going to Rome?
whatever the 30, whatever the Saturday is, the 30th. So I'm
I don't
gone the
have a
whole first week of August. I didn't even look
Okay.
at the earnings calendar.
Yeah, I don't
It
even
doesn't-
know.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't
It's
matter.
like today was Tesla, and I'd be like, oh my God, I'm missing Tesla, and I wind up down on it anyways. I made
You
like
can never pick
2
your vacation
trades.
time as a trader that way.
All right, one of our friends is confirming for tonight, so that's really good.
Okay, sweet.
Yes, yes. Sir.
Everyone else is
Okay,
dropping
Brendo, what's going on?
As we saw all day long, pretty red board to show you. Just the Dow ends the day in positive territory, 0.5% to the upside, 0.7 there for the S&P. All three of the Russell flavors downside as well, full percent for the Russell 2000. Yeah, it was the NASDAQ all day, as we said, 2.05, 2.25 when all is said and done, guys.
So depressing.
Who was pitching for us today? We shut them out, 4-0.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the Jays beat San Diego, which San Diego, talk about a disappointment with that payroll, but I still think they could turn it around. What's up with Juan Soto? I mean, that guy's numbers, he was great a couple years ago. Still obviously a big talent.
The San Diego's playing as a huge pitcher's park lately.
Oh, okay.
That's
It's Chris
that's a big one.
Bassett today.
Bassett's been amazing for the Jays.
4 pitchers. Romano comes in at the end.
I bet the Mets wish they still had Bassett. You talk about
the Mets
you
talk
talk
about
about payroll,
That's $338 million.
but their owner's got some cash. It's all
a
being
little bit.
wasted though.
Wonder where he got it all from. Shout out to Steve Cohen. Okay, right now, let's go, man. What a good day. We still have Prad to come here. Going to be some earnings. Did we go over the earnings board just now, or no, we didn't?
Nothing that
find
big.
It. Now, there was CSX was on there. I think there was American Airlines tomorrow morning. So we'll watch out for that. But hey, without any further ado, he's sitting at the desk ready to rock and roll. So let's go. We got Ramin. Thank you so much to everybody. AJ. Hey, man, AJ had to have... Tomorrow he'll be on air again, maybe, if he wants.
Yeah, in the morning,
I feel
for
like he
sure.
could have had an afternoon cameo.
He's smiling at that.
Okay, he likes it. He likes it. He wants to review it, you know, all that kind of stuff. So, okay, well, thanks AJ again today. Thanks Ramin, Fabian's over there. Thanks Prad, midday show with Max and Obi and everything. Thanks obviously to Neil. Thanks to everybody for watching. Bears versus Bulls. What a bang up day again on the moderation. So thank you for that as well. Good luck to all the Siri longs as we'll throw you over. Join us tomorrow at 8:30. We're talking all about this all over again. So from everybody here at Trader TV Live, thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Over to Prad. Ciao.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for the after party with some earnings movers. Last night we had some fun watching Tesla. Ooh, okay, you know what? Let's dive right into it. COF might be out. It was supposed to come out at 4:05.